Hey guys, how you doing, guys? Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to tonight's stream. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. How you guys doing today? Welcome, guys. How you guys doing? Welcome, 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 guys. Welcome. So it's been. So how you guys doing today? So I hope you guys are all okay. So we're gonna discuss a little bit about today. We're gonna discuss the PL matches, the transfer rumor, and also we're gonna discuss the preview about the FA Cup coming up, the London Derby, and we're also gonna touch a little bit about the just finished match between Liverpool and Arsenal. So we're gonna just touch on some little bit of stuff tonight. I hope you guys are doing well today. You're doing okay today, and I hope you guys are kind of the weather is okay for you guys. So, guys, let's begin. So, um, let me bring out the APL table for you guys to see how everything is going on. So the EPL table is as follows. As Liverpool first, Man City second, Chelsea third, um, Leicester City fourth, and United fifth. Then I think Arsenal won today, so Arsenal go to sixth. Then Tottenham Hotspur go to seventh. So it's gonna be a race till the season ends. So guys, who do you guys think is gonna finish in top four? And do you guys see any sleeper from United, Chelsea, Leicester City, or anybody? So guys, so who do you guys see sleeping off? So it's been for me, it's been one of the best one of the best and top four I've ever seen. I think it's gonna go towards the wire. So we don't know how it's gonna pan out, but we hope and believe it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very interesting and it's gonna be very lovely. So guys, we're gonna go tonight. So I'm expecting with Red Devils studio and also Offset to come in. So I hope you guys are doing okay. And also we're gonna touch a little bit about the preview of the Chelsea Norwich match. For me, it was just an okay professional match. That's it. It wasn't that much going on. Just like a professional match, win just 1-0, and that's it. I think it's gonna go through the wire because United play tomorrow, and that's a very tough match for them against them Crystal Palace. So I think the only player that can drop out from the top four for me is Leicester City because it's gonna be a tough match for them. If they lose to Sheffield United, they're gonna drop out entirely. I think for me the top four is gonna be completely over. But we know EPL, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So we can't write anything off, but anything is possible. So for me, I think this is one of the best season I've seen. Anything is possible. So guys, it's gonna be beautiful. So we look forward to how this season gonna pans out. I hope it's gonna be an exciting season. But I believe for me, what I've seen today for me, I don't think Liverpool are really that kind of team that can dominate for the new season coming up because Manchester City, Chelsea, United they're gonna spend. So imagine those teams spending and Liverpool can spend money. It's gonna be very tough for them, very difficult for them. But I hope and believe they'll be able to get themselves together because I don't think they're gonna dominate for years to come because a lot of club are gonna be spending and also lest I forget Manchester City has been cleared from their transfer ban which helped them a lot in the Champions League. But do I really think they're gonna win the Champions League? For me, no. I don't think so because for me they are not my favorite to win it. So they don't put as a favorite to win it. So For me, I don't think so. For me, I do not think so. For me, so it's gonna be tough, but let's see how it goes. So welcome outside. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
How
What's
you
going
doing
on?
today?
Yeah.
How is
Welcome to
everything
you
going?
already. I'm okay. I'm okay. It's okay. I just finished watching the game, Arsenal against Liverpool,
Yeah, I just
and the
got on
result
like
was a shocker for me.
wow. It should not be a shocker for you
Yeah.
because we all know Liverpool. People already said they're gonna dominate for the next entire 2 seasons. But for me, without spending, they can't dominate anything. They can't dominate anything.
They are champions of England reason. I mean, Arsenal have been struggling.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have imagined that beat Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Yeah, Liverpool have won the title. They may be a little bit laid back. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but man, what a game it was! And
Yeah.
guess who will bear the brunt of this result? Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea will
Exactly.
suffer it in the next game against Liverpool.
Exactly.
And I'm sure Red Devils is happy about it.
It's coming, but I think it says it's gonna jump in the next 10 minutes or 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but for me, this year Liverpool has not been good. This year they've not been really good. This year they've not been good. They've only been, I would say, clinical in terms of the way they play. They've been very clinical though. They've not been the Liverpool of last season, last 2 seasons. It's not been the Liverpool. I don't know if it's because of signing and everything, but I'm not sure. The way they're playing at the moment doesn't give me like
And they've
confidence.
won the title. It's only normal now.
Mm-hmm.
They've won the title. They're laid back. There's no other competition. There's no other
Exactly.
competition they're involved in. The players are just, they have about 6 games, six
Mm-hmm.
games to just 5, 6 games to just it's like more like run around and exercise themselves. Meanwhile, the
Mm-hmm.
teams they are playing against are actually struggling to get points,
Exactly.
valuable points for
Mm-hmm.
certain reasons, different reasons. So I think it's bound to happen.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. Yes, it's bound to happen. But for me, I don't. I think Liverpool is going to struggle a lot next season if they don't sign. If they don't sign, see for me, Mane, Salah, and Firmino need a replacement. They cannot be, even if they play all matches, they need a replacement. Someone that
What?
can a replacement, like a sub. Assuming they're not playing for the next match.
No, already signed them now. They signed Minamino. They signed Shakiri. They signed Chamberlain. I mean,
Well,
sorry,
how
Chamberlain.
many matches have those
So they
players
already
played? How
have
many
players
matches?
like that.
How many matches have they played?
And the question should go to the coach, club. It's not about the club signing players because if it's about signing, the clubs have players. They have Firmino backup in
Mm-hmm.
Origi. They have Shakiri. Shakiri barely plays. I mean, he has been injured, yes, but he's back
Exactly.
for a while. Minamino
Mm-hmm.
barely plays.
Mm-hmm.
So they have players. Even Milner can play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Chamberlain can play anywhere. They have the players. It's just that club seems to, trust
So
in
let
certain
me ask
players.
you.
He's
Let me ask
putting
you.
forward
Let me ask you this question now.
players.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think, in your own view, do you think, as a fan, do you think come next season, Liverpool is gonna dominate the league, or we have to wait to see what transfer they're gonna buy,
No.
what player they're gonna buy for next season? Because if we forget, United is gonna strengthen, Man City will strengthen, Chelsea will strengthen. So those teams will strengthen for them to what to bridge the gap between Man City and Liverpool. So in your view, do you see Liverpool winning the league next season, or it's gonna be very, very difficult? It's gonna be tough. We're gonna go through the wire to win it.
Well, normally I would say to see the players they sign, you know,
Okay.
before we make the judgment. But then again, based on what's obtainable or currently available right now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's easy to say, Man U will sign, this person and so will sign. But it's only the first time. Signing players is one thing. Those players actually performing
Mm-hmm.
is a different thing entirely.
Hmm.
So I mean, Liverpool still have a strong squad, a very strong squad. Now the question of them being motivated into the third season. Don't forget, last season was a brilliant one for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they just missed out on the title. They won the Champions League, missed out on the title by 1 point,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Yeah.
year before that, they got to the Champions League final and lost to Real Madrid. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been 3 consistent years of, um, dominance, certain degree, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, 4 years might be stretch. That was especially without renewing. without bringing using fresh blood and that. So I expect them to sign players, but I expect Liverpool to also continue to compete as
Mm.
well. I mean, not in, but I don't expect them to dominate as much as they've dominated this season.
Mm-hmm. But for me, I still think the APL next is gonna be very tough because the team coming up at the moment will also want to buy players to compete with them, both Man City and then Liverpool. So for me, I don't have any predictor at the moment, but we have to wait for the season to begin to see how the team is gonna like fare with each other before we can decide anything. Because EPL, we all know EPL, any team can beat any team, so we have to be ready. And also the championship team coming up also too, it's gonna give those big team run for their money. So for me, it's gonna be a little bit tough just to choose one team winning the EPL. It's gonna be very tough. But I believe
Yeah.
it depends on like the kind of team because I think next season I'm hearing it's gonna be five substitution, not three anymore, which is a plus for me.
No,
That's what I'm hearing.
no. The only reason I mean it's currently five substitutions that are being allowed.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that's been allowed is because um the games have switched to has been moved to summer,
Mm-hmm.
and the summer is actually hotter conditions. They're not used to playing in the summer in hotter conditions, which is
Mm-hmm.
why they also have the water break. So it took FIFA actually had to approve it, and then the Premier League took it up.
Mm-hmm.
But for it to become the new norm, I don't think that would be the case, especially if football reverts to the normal thing it's been, and the more normal thing it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. So look at the EPL
But
table.
with regards to what you said earlier, I agree
Okay.
with you when I said I don't expect Liverpool to dominate the season,
Okay.
dominate next season. I expect more competition. This season they've had like it's like they've been alone. They've done the whole thing alone.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester City have hugely flopped. Chelsea, of course, have flopped. Manchester United have flopped. Arsenal have flopped. The big teams, the traditional big teams, have massively flopped so far this season. So
Yeah.
it's really like it's been a one horse race. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, they maintain the same standard that they've had, they've been on the past couple of years. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, no one was there to match them. Which is
Yeah.
why, we brings back to the comment I made earlier. I said it might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like Liverpool have underperformed, especially outside the Premier League. In the
Mm-hmm.
Premier League, it seemed easier because most teams are not in a good form. The competition in the Premier League is not as it should be. Then
Mm-hmm.
where going into other competitions in the Champions League, they now went to get knocked out. They got knocked out after the first round of the knockout stages. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I feel like next season will be more difficult for them. I mean, but I still have players. They still have a team that is good enough to compete. So yeah, I expect Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, to compete with them next
Mm-hmm.
season.
Okay. So, in your view, do you think Liverpool has been are getting found out, or just a issue of fatigue? Do you see that? Do you think they are getting found out the way they play, the way they press? The game pressing in which club plays doesn't work. I don't think it worked
Yeah, I'm
this
here.
season.
I'm here.
Hey, how you doing, Red Devils?
Yeah, no,
So,
I'm fine. It's interesting because
Red Devil,
yeah, it's
welcome
interesting.
back.
Welcome back. I say Offside's voice is quite seems to be quite
I was asking, okay, I was asking offside a question. Let me just finish up, then you could, I'll
okay.
bring it to him. Okay, so offside, my question is, do you think Liverpool has been found out now, or just a level of fatigue, or just be like, I think we need to chill a little bit about them? So, or do you think like they're already getting found out with other teams playing them? Because the way Klopp plays, he loves playing game pressing, and this year, the pressing has not been working for them this year. It's just been locked and clinical this year. That's how they've won the EPL. The way they played last year is different than the way they played this
I
year.
think
Last year, they were all out. The pressing was just from the minute of one to the minute of 90 minutes. It's all about pressing. But this year, I think it's deep down. So what do you think is their real
I,
problem? Is it about the fatigue or the pressing is not just working, or they don't have the player to just play the system club wants?
I think it's a combination of probably fatigue, complacency, and getting found out to an extent. I mean, this is the tail end of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and that they already won the title is confirmed. They won the title with a record number of games left to play. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's normal thing is vacation mood. It's the summer, and most of the players just seem to have switched off to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been a long couple of months. It's probably been like 12 months since the start of the season,
Mm-hmm.
plus the break, the unwanted break. So to an extent, psychologically, it's affected them. They've achieved their aim. Uh, so it is what it is, and teams that are struggling to get points like Arsenal, they put the pressure on them, did more of their homework, and got the result needed. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think.
So, Red Devils, what do you think? Is it about fatigue, or is it about they've been found out, or we just have to chill a little bit about them? Or how good has been this Liverpool team? How good have they been this year? How good?
I mean, it's just. I think it's. I just agree with what Offside said. Like, I think you could. I think the thing is, what I have said to Liverpool fans is that, like, I think they still need to strengthen the summer, and that's the thing about title-winning sides. Is that my concern for Liverpool going next season is if they go into the next season, if the owner's like, oh, we're not going to give you any money to buy players,
Mm-hmm.
they go into next season with this squad, then I think then they will struggle because the thing is that there is a thing about mentality, and I think Pep Guardiola, whatever you say about him, he instills a winning mentality in his team. So
Mm-hmm.
even if they haven't, like, you look at the City. Okay, yes, they lost to Southampton and the rest of it, all these things, but you can see, they don't have anything to play for, but they're
Mm-hmm.
still like winning games, and they don't have putting teams 5-0 apart, but they're still doing it because of the winning mentality that they still have. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
with Liverpool, I feel like they achieve objectives, and then once they achieve the objective, that's it. So they were motivated to win the CL. They won it. They not so it's
Mm-hmm.
like they went to the final, missed out. You know, and then following year they won the CL, but they missed out just on the Premier League. And then now, so they obviously won the Premier League and the CL. So I just think that it feels like Liverpool can only really focus on one objective at a time, and that's why So it could. I guess what I'm saying is that, like, depending on how they are,
Mm-hmm.
they have to focus on something. So it might be that they focus on the Champions League next year. Maybe they focus on the PL. I don't know, but I don't think they have the squad and the quality of squad and the players. Because let's be real, outside of Liverpool starting 11, they don't really have that much quality coming from the bench, really. You
Yeah.
know, okay, Shaqiri, Origi, they'll impact subs when they won the CL, but they haven't really played that much. And and when they play, they've been sort of average to okay.
Mm-hmm.
So really, outside their starting 11, who've been fit mostly for most of the year, they haven't got that much squad depth. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think, like I said, what Offside said, it is. I think it is what it is. I think people are too worried because at the end of the day, they are still goodness knows how many points ahead of everybody, and a season is like over 38 games. You look at Chelsea's point tally, for example. 30 points off. Off Liverpool. So.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like and I think to Chelsea, I think they've got one of the how many goals conceded?
You mean
Jeez,
you mean Liverpool?
how many goals? How
Let
many
me check.
goals? Guys? 49. My
You
goodness.
mean you mean Liverpool?
No, I mean Chelsea. I mean I'm looking at like the amount of goals that Chelsea have
Mm-hmm.
conceded, and they've conceded more
Mm-hmm.
goals than like anyone in the top 10.
Top 10, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that would imply that like your keeper and your defense is trash. Like
So what you're,
it's
okay,
bad
what you're
offside.
saying is
Bad
okay.
offside.
What you're saying is because of the fatigue that is affecting Liverpool, not the way they play or not the managers and everything, just
No, no,
fatigue.
no. I'm just saying that it's like offsides. It's just a combination of things. It's like it's
Mm.
not
Yeah.
just fatigue. Like it's mentality, um, and obviously it's lack of squad depth. There are multiple factors. But at the end of the day, like they are at the end of the day, whatever you say, they are still a season is over 30 something games. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, what it is done, they're still 30 points clear of, say, for example, Chelsea. Like 30 points is
Do
ridiculous.
you really think they lack squad depth?
Yeah.
Do you think they lack squad depth, or just about?
If Mane gets injured, who replaces Mane, for example?
Yeah, but they
Hmm.
have players. They have Shakiri. Shakiri hasn't been playing. They have Minamino. They have
Yeah, that's what
players
I'm
that
saying.
can play.
They have they
Origi
have
hasn't been playing.
yeah, they have players.
Chamberlain hardly even starts.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
have
just selection by club.
yeah, but they have players. But the thing is, are those players good enough? That's what I'm saying. Like United have players as well, but are those
No,
players good enough when they
players
come?
that are good enough to be backup now.
Wait, so you don't
To
admit
be
that like
backup, they're
to
good
be
enough.
backup, but I mean like the drop off from like Mane to say a Shakir something like that. Like even watching this game, you can see the difference between like a Mane and I don't know who would play on that right wing, a Shakiri or a
Salah,
Origi.
Salah, Salah, Salah.
Yeah, but yeah, my point is just in two positions, like
Mm-hmm.
you can have alternative, you can have squad players, but like even watching this Liverpool game, for example, those squad players, Shaqiri and Origi came on. Did they impact the team that much? Not really.
I
You
don't
know,
think so. Mm-hmm.
they did it in the CL season. They were great impact squad players then. They did a really good job, but this season they haven't really. So when I talk about the squad, I mean like having a squad of players that when you bring someone on, the quality dip is not that much. So, for example, if United, for example, bought Jack Grealish,
Nah, I disagree with you though, Red Devil. But
But finish
I,
up,
I
brother. We'll
feel
finish
like
up.
but that's my opinion anyway. I don't think Liverpool have
yeah.
as much of a squad depth as. I mean, you saw it. I mean, keeper wise, look at what happened with in the Champions League. Allison it gets injured. Bring in Adrian, and he makes that howler, and they out of the CL. Does Allison make that howler? Probably not. He could, but probably not. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. Like when you're competing for as a United fan as well, because like this is the thing as a United fan, when we were dominant, when we were winning trebles, when doing all those things and back to league titles, like, people just think it was just easy, or Alex didn't have any competition. No, we had competition, we had all those things, but the thing is that we always had to add to our squad maybe one or two players year on year quality to keep players motivated, to keep the competition, and make sure that in every position that you had at least two players that were at the relatively same level to compete for the same sort of position. That there wasn't a massive drop off, and that wasn't the case every season. But ideally, that's what you would have. So that way, so the winning mentality is still in the club, and if a player does, for example, get injured, you're not massively reliant on it. So that means that your backup keeper is solid. It means your backup defender is still solid, and so on and so on. And maybe they might want to go to another club. That's fine, but you'll find that a lot of players that are backups in sides that are winning trophies don't tend to want to push for moves outside of their club, outside of these clubs. They want to be part of that winning mentality. So they end up staying. Whereas if you're not winning trophies and then you're on the bench and being backup, then they'll want to push for moves. But I see who will finish in the top four as the next topic. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
So my next topic at the moment. Okay, I think after I wanted to say something before I go to my next topic. So after you want to say something?
Yeah. I was just saying basically that I don't agree with Red Devil. I understand. I respect. Yeah, it's his opinion, but I feel like the bulk of the problem. I mean, the reason why we feel Liverpool don't have squad depth. Yeah, it may not be the largest squad in the Premier League, but it's basically down to the lineup Klopp has consistently fielded. If you remember earlier, there was a couple of weeks where I said I feel like Liverpool, an unpopular opinion though, but Liverpool have underperformed generally as a season. Yeah, in the Premier League they've done very well as a season. They've underperformed, especially when you talk about the cup competitions and the Champions League, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Many people will disagree with me, but in the case of the cup competitions, his insistence to fly everybody out to I don't know the different end of the world, for the FIFA Club World Cup was something that I did not exactly understand because there are players, these players that even if you say yeah they are not good enough as good as the first choice, of course, good players are usually not as good as the first choice, but he should have had them play in these other competitions, and likewise at this point of the season, you should have had these guys. Navigator, how many games has Navigator played this season? How many games has Chamberlain played this season? Has he even tried? Chamberlain has featured a
They've
couple
been
of times.
injured.
How many games has Origi played? How many games has Minamino played since he joined Liverpool? But instead, he decides to continue to field the very same players, and they burn out. I don't believe it's down to the guys that he brought to the bench. Why did he not just start them?
Yeah, but a lot of those
That's my
players
point. They're not. There's nothing they're fighting
you
for at this
mentioned
point.
have been injured for periods in the season for one,
Yes, but they recovered. They've won the title already. So I won't blame today's performance, for example, on the lack of squad depth.
Okay. So my
Anyway,
last
yeah,
question
that's that.
before we go to the top four. My last question before we go to the next topic. So do you think Liverpool can be like a dominant team?
Right, I'm gonna have to go in a second. So could we quickly skip to the who are finishing top four picks? I've got to be
Okay,
away.
okay. So this is the Premier League table: Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, Leicester City, and United. So quick question, starting from Red Devils. So who make top four between Leicester City, Chelsea, and United? Being a United fan, be very very clear and direct.
Be very, very objective.
No, I am
Red
being
Devils.
objective because today's result. I think today's result. One of the results that was actually quite important today for everyone. I think, or at least for certainly for Chelsea. I think was for the Wolves result because I think had Wolves beaten Burnley, then it potentially would have made the last game of the season when you played them quite difficult because they would have then had to win if they won their next game and you had lost against Liverpool, then potentially they could have overtaken you on points. But the fact they drew against Burnley today, I think effectively them out of the top four race. So because the max amount of points
Sorry, I
they've
didn't
got.
hear you. What did you say?
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that basically Wolves' draw to Burnley, in my opinion, effectively took them out of the top four race because their maximum points they can get in the next two games is 6, and that will give them a maximum amount of 56. 1, 2, 3, 62 points.
Yeah.
So Chelsea already have 63. So it's a question of like Manchester United and Leicester, and that would mean that Manchester United and Leicester would have to lose their next 3 games. So it's probably unlikely for both of those teams to do that. So if they win one game, Wolves are effectively out of the top 4 because they can't catch up with Chelsea. So Wolves are out of the question. As are Spurs. Sheffield United is a small outside chance of 4, possibly if they win all the next game, especially if they beat Leicester City. But again, they would have to win all of their games, and it would mean that United and Leicester would have to essentially lose all of theirs or not pick up. Yeah, essentially that's what will happen. The maximum points that Sheffield United can get, I think, is 63 or something. So really, you're just left with like Chelsea, Leicester, and United. Now, I think looking at especially after the Wolves result, I would say that it's going to be United and Chelsea, in no particular order, and really and Chelsea, to be honest, are I would argue in the driving seat, the 63. Chelsea just need to win. Well, either win one of the 2 of the last games, or even get a point. To be honest, I think if they get a point,
yes, I was going to say that. Just a point.
The point they should be fine. If they avoid defeat Liverpool or get a point, then they should be fine. If they lose, the only way Chelsea will be in trouble is if they lose to Liverpool, and then Leicester City and Manchester United win both of their next 2 games.
Because but it's not possible because they face each other.
No. We've got 3 games to play each.
Oh, you have 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So if Leicester City and United win their next 2 games, that would probably be the worst case.
But Leicester City face Tottenham in their next game.
They play Tottenham after.
No, they face Sheffield. They face Sheffield United and they face Tottenham as well.
Exactly. So I don't think Leicester are gonna win this game. But what I'm saying is the only way that I feel Chelsea doesn't make top 4 is if United and Leicester win their next 2 games back to back, and you lose to Liverpool. Because if that happens, then United and Leicester will play in the final game, being ahead of Chelsea, and will most likely play out for a draw. So what you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
happen is for United and Leicester to win both of their next 2 games and you to lose to Liverpool. If that doesn't happen, I think Chelsea have secured top 4, in my opinion. I can't see another situation as to why they wouldn't. As for United, basically it depends on the Crystal Palace result. So, but for me, just based on the form, I think United have got top 4. I just don't see Leicester City really doing anything. I think Sionchu's injured, Madison and Shaw coming back. They look like they're completely clueless, to be honest. I just think that
Do you
they
really think United will beat Crystal Palace?
sorry.
She said, "Do
Do you
you think
think
United
United
can
will
beat
beat
Crystal
Crystal
Palace?"
Palace? You guys lost. You guys lost the first leg,
Yeah, we
2-1 at
did.
Old Trafford.
Yeah, we did. But like that game was that the way that we lost that game, it wasn't because Crystal Palace dominated us. It was because it was a mistake, and then I think a long ball punt, as it were. So, and also we're going also based on recent form. Palace have lost their last 6 games in a row now. So
Yeah, which is more reason why. Which is more
hmm.
reason. I mean, there'll be
they
potentially
don't
more
they don't have
competition.
anything. They don't have anything. They've survived relegation. Don't really have anything to play for. So yes, they might go at it, but there's no real kind of like, oh
They've
my,
lost. Geez, they've lost their last 5 games.
yeah, but they're safe. So they don't really have
So they're
anything like.
safe, but
Like
I'm just
I would
saying.
argue, I would argue Liverpool have more to play for against Chelsea at Anfield in terms of making sure they continue going undefeated at home than Crystal Palace would have at their home, because in their mind, it's like, well, we're safe already. Most of these players were on holiday. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I think that Leicester City are more likely to lose to Sheffield and Tottenham, especially now that Jose Mourinho has kind of turned the form of Spurs a little bit, having beaten Arsenal and beaten Sheffield, and also because Sheffield and Tottenham are looking for European football. There's a motivation for those 2 teams. Because Sheffield United wants to secure European football, Tottenham wants to secure European football. Crystal Palace, West Ham. So yeah, I just think that
Well,
yeah, go on.
yeah, no, I just noticed that barring Leicester City, all other teams that United is yet to face, you guys lost the first leg of both encounters. That's about West Ham and Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So I just hope the way you're saying it, I just hope you guys take it more seriously than the way you're saying it, because at this point of the season, especially with the Crystal Palace side, yes, the only thing they might try to turn around is to end the losing streak that they've been on. 5 on the bounce is not a good reputation, and with the season fast coming to an end, they try to climb the top of the table as far as they can go. So I just hope you guys, and you guys, would you guys be missing any of your players?
We might be missing Shaw and Greenwood.
Oh
So
yes.
possibly. So, but even then, like, I still think it's the thing is, even if for me, the most important thing is that we don't lose. This is what I'm kind of sort of saying, is that, like, I just, maybe it's because of confidence, but it's like I said at the start, like, I just don't see Leicester City. I see Leicester City dropping out of this. Like, they just don't look good enough. People keep on saying they've got it. But I'm like, I'm not. What is that based on? You know, um,
Yeah.
because they conceded 4 goals to Bournemouth. How do you lose 4-1 to Bournemouth? So I don't get that. So amongst other things, so let alone Sheffield United and Spurs that are better than those teams. So
Yeah.
I would, let's put it this way: I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester City lost those 2 games. So in that case, like, it might not even come to the last game of the season, because United already have the same level of points of Leicester City, and even if we say, for example, I don't know, drew with Crystal
Well,
Palace, provided that we
okay.
get provided that we get 4 points from our next 3 games, we could probably still secure top 4, being 4 because of obviously all the other teams, if that makes sense.
Okay. So offside.
But Chelsea can qualify in the next round of game. I mean, if Leicester and Manchester United drop points or lose, both teams lose their next games, Chelsea will qualify. I think even I hope I'm correct.
Yeah,
before kicking the ball next time.
yeah,
Before
if
kicking the ball,
Chelsea,
yeah.
yeah, because if Chelsea is it'll be based on um, it'll be based on
United and Leicester City.
no, yeah. So I mean, a sense of like what happens to you with Liverpool. So in theory,
Mm-hmm.
because remember, all Leicester and United have three more games. You're gonna have two more games. So even
Yeah.
if we lose these games, it'll still mean that we're only that I think Chelsea are only 4 points.
Yeah, 4 points.
4 points,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Four points.
4 points ahead. Like I said, if you lose to Liverpool, and Leicester and well, actually, let me think.
And both Leicester and Manchester United win
It
their
lo-
penultimate game, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Their penultimate games, sorry.
yeah.
And then going into the last game, that means 3 points, 3 points, and Chelsea will now be ahead by 1 point, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
going into
No, no,
the
no,
last
no.
of the
Yeah,
except
you had it by 1 point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then going into the last game, if both teams, when both teams face each other, at
Hmm.
least one team is bound to drop points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it
Yeah.
So if
depends.
one team wins, that means Chelsea will get the
No,
fourth
no,
place.
it
If both
depends
teams
though.
draw,
No, no, no.
sorry.
So it depends though, because like if you lose to Wolves in that game, then it goes back to the same thing where if Leicester United draw,
Mm-hmm.
everyone will have 63 points. But Leicester
Like goal difference. Yeah.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Leicester
goal
United will be
differences.
ahead. Why? Because your goal difference is the weakest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
You're
the
right. You're
one thing
right.
that
You're
Leicester
right.
United have over Chelsea is that they have superior goal difference.
So we have to make sure
Yeah,
we win.
That's what
Exactly.
I'm saying. You have to
yeah.
get
Good
at least a
observation.
point. For me to secure top four, Chelsea need at least a point from the next two games. If they lose those next two games, and um, Leicester City and United get even a win, then possibly there's a potential scenario where Leicester City and United can just play out the draw. Because I'm not saying that's professional, but let's be honest. Like, if both of those teams are in a strong position, do you really think the United or Leicester City are going to be going at each other to try and win when they can just put their weak squad out, play out a draw, and secure
Okay.
their top four? So that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me ask them Red Devils and them upside this one. Let me ask this way.
yeah,
Okay, what if United lose against Crystal Palace now, and then okay, Leicester City also lose against Sheffield United. Now it now depends on if you guys are gonna win the last match. So who's gonna make tough for between you and Leicester City? Because remember, Leicester City is better go different than you guys. So if they lose against Sheffield United and you guys lose against Palace, then it now depends on you both. Who's gonna win between the last match between you both? Someone has to draw a point. So do you feel you have a superior chance ahead of Leicester to win the last
we
match?
might, we might not even go. We might not even go to last match because we need to. Because again, we've got 3 points. We've got three games.
Mm-hmm. You don't
So
need to play West Ham. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, so this is the thing. And they have obviously got Spurs. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I go, which one is more likely? United at home, losing at home to West Ham, it's
Mm-hmm.
possible, or Leicester losing away to Spurs. I don't. It's possible, but I
Mm-hmm.
think Jose Mourinho has sort of said that he wants to secure like
Europa League, yeah.
Europa League at least. So
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to put an Spurs in a better position than they were when he taken them, which he has in theory.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that even if we both lose the games, the only thing you might say is that it might give an outsider chance for Wolves and Sheffield United to close things in terms of the top four,
Mm-hmm.
possibly, which is probably what you don't want. But I still think United, based on the form, because the thing is like. Yes, we dropped points against Southampton at home, but we didn't lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
We still closed in the point. We're still undefeated in 18. So United's form is still the best form compared to actually anyone else in the top five.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can we lose? Yes, of course we can lose, but we haven't lost in 18 games in all competitions.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
it come to an end at some point.
of course it will. Yeah, of course it will. But my point is that like if you're going based on probability, which one is more likely to happen? United to lose to Crystal Palace or Leicester City to lose to Sheffield United, for example. You know what I mean? Like based on the recent
How
form.
many points behind United is Sheffield?
Look at it. This is the Premier League table. Yeah, just put that on
Sheffield
top for you.
United are behind, so they've got to play obviously Leicester. So
Yeah.
Sheffield United are behind Leicester and by
Let me bring out
five
the
points.
remaining matches. Let me
5
bring out the
points.
remaining matches. So let me bring out. See, these are the remaining matches.
Yeah.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh wait, Sheffield United are
So
5 points.
we have
That's a long
Everton,
run.
Aston
That's a
Villa.
lot.
Sheffield United are 5 points behind Leicester City and United, but obviously they're playing Leicester City.
Mhm.
Oh,
So if they beat Leicester City, then they'll be only 2 points behind, so they'll go to 57 points. And obviously, same thing if United lose to Crystal Palace away.
Mhm.
So obviously, like I said, that puts them very close into the top four conversation.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
like I said, for me, Chelsea are the more likely to secure and more sure about. You know,
Mhm.
for me, I
But
wouldn't
what
take it for
happened?
granted.
Okay.
I wouldn't take it for
Sorry, go
granted
on.
just because I think that Chelsea, to be honest, have played. I don't know. I just think they're bad. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
like you're bad, like bad. I'm even this weekend when I thought, okay, United look tired and look resty, and we're probably gonna field a weakened squad against Chelsea in the FA Cup. I just don't think Chelsea look good. They just
I
don't.
agree.
I know you've got the win against Norwich. But I was kind
They
of
look
like,
out of their depth sometimes.
yeah, I don't get it. Like it's you're relying on Giroud to score. And fair enough, he's doing the business. The midfield seems still out of whack. Kante's been dropped, it seems, which I find strange.
No,
The,
I think Kante is injured. He'll be back against
Kante is
United.
injured.
was
He'll
in,
be back against United. He'll be
but
back.
Kante is
but even,
injured.
but
He
even
may
then,
give or take.
are you playing Kante into Gina? I don't know. It just seems like Chelsea don't look. They don't look like. To put it this way, like, would I be surprised if Chelsea lost to Wolves and Liverpool? Not really.
No.
They
No,
shouldn't,
I wouldn't do that.
but I wouldn't be surprised.
Mhm.
So and the only thing the only reason why I still think that because I just think that Leicester City are in a worse run of form than Chelsea.
Mhm.
So I still think, especially because this Wolves beaten Burnley, I would be saying something very different now because I'd be thinking guys should be very concerned because they play you guys in the
Mhm.
last game. But because of that drop of points and the fact you beat Norwich, you
Mhm.
should be fine. You know,
Yeah.
um, you just need to just make sure that Leicester City continue to flop. But I think
Mhm.
it's reasonable to assume that United and Chelsea are probably favourites still to finish in the top four.
Okay. Good. So let me ask you guys now. So okay, outside, I think you wanted to say something about the top four. So do you have
No,
any?
no, no. I was just. I mean, I've not spoken with Red Devil since that week. I think it was last weekend.
Mhm.
After Chelsea lost against Sheffield, and then Leicester drew, and Leicester lost, and then Manchester United drew. I wanted to hear his opinion on the whole thing. I don't understand how football is just amazing, right? And things can happen, but sometimes certain things, certain coincidences are just unbelievable.
Mm.
You know, I just can't wrap my head around how that particular weekend went. I don't
Which,
know.
which which game are you talking about specifically?
No, the fact that Chelsea lost, right?
Mm.
And then two teams in Leicester City and Manchester United just somehow failed
Mm.
to get the required points to go above
Yeah,
them. It seems
that's
so
correct.
odd to me,
Yeah,
honestly. I can't explain it to you.
yeah. I think
Mm.
I think what it shows. I think what fundamentally what this shows as well is this is the reason why these teams are where they are. This is why these teams are not competing for titles, competing for major sales at the moment in time. Because if you really want to be competitive, so that's why we're going back to Liverpool. Yes, okay, I know the English only was a but at the end of the day, for the vast majority of the games this season, they've been consistent. And
Mhm.
unfortunately,
Yeah,
United, Chelsea, let alone Arsenal, Spurs, are nowhere near that level of consistency yet.
yeah,
Under normal
I
circumstances,
agree.
you go and do it, it'd be like, boom, that's it, end of story. You'd finished off, but now you're not doing it. So that's the problem, and you know, even to be honest, if they both qualify for Champions League, you have to sort of ask yourself, can these teams actually compete in the Champions League? Maybe they can go quarterfinals, possibly if they're lucky, but
Mhm.
really compete
Mhm.
based on what we see now. I don't know. We'll see what the transfer window shows, but United, I don't know what we're going to do for in terms of maybe get Stanch, maybe Benjamin, I don't know. Chelsea, personally, I think that I don't really get the Kai Havertz link because, like I said earlier in this chat, Chelsea.
We'll talk about that. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
no. I'm just saying that, like for me, like Chelsea's, Chelsea, as I said, have the worst defensive record in the top 10.
Yeah.
They conceded 49 goals this season. I think it's 11th
Yeah.
actually. So if I was
Okay.
Chelsea, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh no,
Go
I
ahead.
just said Chelsea have the worst defensive record in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're 11th actually for the amount of goals they've conceded. So if I was Chelsea, I'd be thinking just to rectify that and not to bring in a forward or a winger or something. You can bring those players in, but if you don't fix that, then you're not going to go forward.
Exactly.
Because people talk about United's defense and talk about Arsenal's defense even, but no one seems to talk about Chelsea's defense for some reason, even though statistically it is worse than United's,
Yeah.
Chelsea's, basically.
Exactly. I think we're gonna discuss that the next. That's gonna be the next topic at the moment. That's what I want to discuss the next topic about the defending stuff.
But what I was saying, just before we move on, like, do people generally sort of agree with me that like United are favourites for top four based on what's been happening?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't get that question.
I didn't get the question.
Guys, do you guys agree with me that United are also obviously Chelsea are probably definitely front favourites, but would you also agree that United are also favourites?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
Ahead of Leicester City, of course.
I do.
agree.
Of course, yeah, I do.
In fact, as a matter of fact, at some point, I felt Manchester United actually take the third position. Honestly, genuinely. But I'm just glad I didn't speak to you. I mean, before you guys' game. If not,
well, we still could. We still could in theory, So if we do
the
Palace,
last minute equalizer must have been very heartbreaking. I'm not gonna
that
lie.
was painful.
I was watching the game. I slept off. It was the next morning. I woke up early in the morning, around 5 a.m. and then somehow I saw the news on Twitter. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
what happened?
I was
so happy. Sorry.
That was painful. So, but I mean, we still could finish third, but it would mean that you would have to. It mean that we'd have to beat Palace and West Ham, and you would have to lose to
Liverpool.
Points. I wouldn't say even lose. I'd say drop points to Liverpool. If you have to, if we win against West Ham Palace and you drop points to Liverpool, we will go ahead of you in third.
Yeah.
But that's the only way. But we'll see. I mean, it's possible that you guys win at Anfield, but
very possible. That's because I think against the big team, we've turned up a lot against the big team. We only flop against this lower team, but against the big team, we've already been competing with them. The likes of Liverpool, the likes of Manchester City, the likes of Tottenham and everything. We've competed with them.
I like to think that Liverpool, like the Anfield pride, would mean that Liverpool. I know they're not gonna. I don't think they'll necessarily go out and want to win, and maybe beat Chelsea, but I don't think they'll want to lose, especially with what's happened tonight.
It's gonna be tough because now they lose against Arsenal. It's gonna be tough against us. They're gonna come all out against us. That's my worry on Wednesday.
And the big thing as well is they would have had a week's rest as well, because you guys obviously be playing in the FA Cup on Sunday, and then 3 days you face Liverpool, whereas Liverpool don't play until next Wednesday, basically. So in theory, they should be fitter and more focused than the Chelsea side who played in the FA Cup. So yeah.
So, before I go forward, there's a Liverpool guy there. Let me bring him. Hey, Liverpool guy, how you doing? Can you hear us?
Yo, what's up?
How you doing? So my question to you, being a Liverpool fan, is what has been the problem for you guys this season? Is it about fatigue? Is it about the inconsistency, or is it just about the players, or what's going on with the kind of way the consistency between you guys today win, tomorrow you lose, and everything? So is it about consistency or just about fatigue, or the players are not really good enough into what Jurgen Klopp wants in his team?
I think it's more of a question of I think it's more of like a mentality thing. Obviously, because like these guys have been so like they've just been so much under pressure, to deliver like the club's first title in 30 years. Like they've been dealing with that pressure for the whole season, and then obviously they won their league, and all that pressure is gone. So yeah, you could say that we have been very complacent. We haven't been very good, especially since the restart. I think we've drawn twice, we've lost twice. I think we've only won one game. But overall, yeah, it's really. It's understandable. It's expected. Once you win the league, there's always the expected drop in level. I guess you could say that.
So it's also about mentality. It's not about fatigue. It's just
Yeah.
mentality.
Okay. Yeah, maybe yeah, you could say fatigue. You could also say fatigue, but this, yeah, these guys have been playing very intense football for the past 2 years now. So I think maybe that's also starting to maybe perhaps catch up with them. And I think, yeah, especially now, I think maybe it's perhaps now would be a good time to perhaps start racing a few key players, especially in preparation for next season.
Okay. But do you think clubs should have rest some of the players in some of the matches, not play them like week in and week out, just give some of them some game time just to see how the team gel up, or you basically believe those three players are just too good enough not to for other players not to come in and play above them?
Right. Personally, I think he was keeping he kept on playing a strong team because I personally think they were trying to go for the points record.
Hmm.
And obviously, since we failed to do that now, I think, yeah, I don't think he has really a reason. He doesn't really have to play like his strongest team now. He can start giving the important players rest now, so that by the time they come back next season they're a bit fresh
Hmm.
and so on. So I think, yeah, I think it was just a case of we're going for the 100 points. And
Mm.
obviously, we that's whoever knows that's not possible anymore. So it's just,
Wow. So my
yeah.
last question to you is who do you think is gonna make in the top four? Leicester City, United, and Chelsea. Who go for top four?
I think, what, hey, I think it's actually gonna be I think Chelsea and United. I think Leicester might. I think Leicester might just miss out. They might just miss out because they look like they have a harder run of fixtures than Yeah, yeah. I think out of the three, Man United actually have the easiest run. Okay, I don't know who their next two games are.
No,
And obviously, yeah.
They play Crystal Palace and then West Ham. Then they play Leicester City in the last match.
Oh, you see. So yeah, I don't know. Actually, okay. I think especially, I think that is that last game, that Leicester City and Man United. I think that'll probably decide who gets that top four spots, because I think Chelsea. Yeah, no, I think Chelsea will finish third, and then, yeah, Man United will finish fourth, and then Leicester will finish fifth. Because, yeah, Leicester haven't really been good since the restart, and then obviously there was a shocking result last week. They lost 4-1 to Bournemouth. I don't think a lot of people saw that result coming. So yeah, I think, yeah, those are my two people to finish top four: Chelsea and Man United.
Wow. Okay. So my next topic.
Everyone seems to agree that Chelsea United are going to finish fourth, so that
Yeah.
seems to be the general consensus now. So,
No, just
Yeah.
so one quick question: so who actually wins the FA? well, Just before it's who wins the FA Cup game on the weekend? Then Chelsea or
Red
United.
Devil.
I think at the moment
United
we
don't get
won't.
to the semi-final, so it will be Man City, Arsenal. See Arsenal.
Man City, Arsenal.
Yeah, Master
Actually, no, 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 no.
Can't be that.
He makes a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, because if Arsenal do not, I think if they don't finish in the top seven, they have to win their remaining games to even have a chance of playing in Europe. And winning the FA Cup is
Yes.
another route
That is true.
into the. So yeah, Arsenal,
It's
you could say
true.
that Arsenal still have something to play for, this season.
They
So
do.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
guys see
me,
them,
yeah, so
do you guys see them beating Leicester and Manchester City in the weekend, or just Manchester City is gonna destroy them?
I don't know because Arteta today he changed the squad a bit. I think he's got the FA
yeah.
Cup times because obviously Aubameyang didn't really play, and they still beat Liverpool, who have obviously still hung over like 2 weeks later. But I think that they will go all. I mean, well, I guess we'll see what happens. I think Pep will take this seriously because he takes all cup seriously. So any thought that he's going to prioritize things is just nonsense. He will take this seriously. I think it'll just depend on what squad he plays. But you never know with Arsenal. But based on previous, matchups, still give it to Manchester City just because I can't remember the last time that Arsenal actually beat Manchester City in any competition ever. So yeah, I think it will be difficult for Arsenal, but it's not impossible. They just have to sort of. I think the only thing I'd say for Arsenal now is their team looks at least a bit more balanced. The only reason why you don't roll against Arsenal is just because they were not necessarily finishing in chance and their defense can be suspect. But if you're talking about actual balance in the team, I would argue Arsenal's team is a lot more balanced than, for example, Chelsea's. That seems to just kind of be a bit all over the place. Even it's coming up on the news. Leicester's Ben Chilwell and James Maddison remain doubts. Sionchu misses the rest of the season with a ban. So, they've not going to have Chilwell, not going to have Maddison, not going to have Sionchu. I don't know how they're going to play. Yeah, Leicester are finished. That's it. That's 3 of their best players starting 11. No, it's over. But yeah, as far as Chelsea United goes, if Chelsea play, I just don't know. I don't want to push anything because the United players are tired. But I would argue if let's put it this way, if the United players are on their game, we will beat Chelsea.
Yeah.
If we're on our form, but best game, if we're not tired, if we're not, then we will beat Chelsea, in my opinion. If we're not, and we look tired, or Solskjaer makes multiple changes, then I don't know. But I look at that Chelsea team and I go, there's not a single Chelsea player in that side that I'm scared of. Pulisic maybe, but if he's on the side of Wan-Bissaka's on, it's fine. Aside from that, I don't know who else I'm supposed to be afraid of exactly. Who's the threat in that Chelsea side for United?
I think Pulisic, Olivier Giroud also may also be the threat because he's very good on the hair and he knows how to score goals.
You're becoming too cocky, Red Bull, just because
I'm being in a genuineness because obviously you match up players.
One thing you have to understand: sometimes goals can come from the most awkward of places, so it's always like that.
That's true, but then you look at the goals that Martial scored, and they're not awkward goals. They're just like his goal against Southampton, his goal against Bournemouth. Like we score those types of goals where it's just like, yeah, give me a bit of space outside the box, bam, top corner. I don't see. That for me is one of the big differences between Chelsea and Arsenal right now is that like we score those types of goals, like you don't. Like even with Pulisic, I don't think Pulisic scores those type. If you get a free kick, okay, fine, Willian can do it, but the goals that we've been scoring are not the goals that you guys kind of score, if that makes any sense, So, all I can think is that if we make massive changes, then possibly that's a thing. But like I said, I look at the Chelsea squad and I'm like, I don't really know what the, even shooting from distance, you look at Kepa and you're like, take your pick, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But I would suspect that Lampard, especially thinking about the Liverpool game, I would imagine that both Oli and Lampard will make changes.
Okay, we'll see how it goes though. But let me go to offside. So Manchester City plays Arsenal, Chelsea play United. So who are your odd favorite to be in the final? Be very, very direct and being a Chelsea fan now. Just my opinion. Man City, Arsenal, and then Chelsea United. Who goes to the final? Offside, you there?
No, I don't think we can hear you.
Oh, I don't think you can hear me.
Can't hear you.
Oh, okay. The Liverpool guy. So, who do you think is gonna go to the final between Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal? Then also, oh, you back offside. Okay. My question is, who makes the final?
Yeah.
Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, United. Who makes the final?
Chelsea, Man City. I would want to Arsenal, but Chelsea, Man City. I'm going to say this.
Chelsea, Man City.
Red Devil. Let me speak, please. It's my end time. Just let me speak, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So so I would say Chelsea, Manchester City, and I genuinely think City will claim it at the end of the day.
Genuinely, I don't. I
You,
doubt
you
because
need to give me a reason why Chelsea will be in the final, though. What's your reason?
Because Chelsea will beat Manchester United. For one, I know. For one, Chelsea will listen. I'll calm down. Different set of players will play this one. Different set of players. I expect Lampard to, rest players um ahead of the Liverpool game, and you just never know. I mean, it's a competition. Manchester United, I expect, should rest players as well. But that's just opinion, sentiment aside.
so you are saying Man City Chelsea final, right?
And Chelsea
Yeah.
will beat Manchester United because you know.
So let me guess player. Okay, let me ask them the Liverpool guy now. So who makes the
Yeah.
final? Let Man City, Arsenal, then Chelsea United.
I think it'll be City. I think City will be. I think City will be just too strong for Arsenal. They've literally been brilliant ever since the restart. They've been in good form. So yeah, I think they'll just have too much. They'll just be a bit too much for Arsenal. And then okay, yeah, for the other game, it's a really tricky one because on one hand, the head-to-head favors Man United because they've already beaten Chelsea 4 times.
Yep.
Three
This
times.
Three times.
season.
Three times.
Oh, 3 times. Sorry, 3 times.
It'll be four.
And
So
they are in. I think like they have slightly better form than Chelsea right now. Yeah, I think I see a Manchester derby final. I say Manchester derby
The
final.
Manchester derby.
Do you guys want to stake? Do you guys want to stake?
there you go,
Stake some money
offside.
on it?
This is the thing, like
But
it's like
you remember when I was telling chill, remember when I was telling you about Chelsea making it the
Because
top
then because
four
the thing with
and all
Chelsea,
that.
the thing with Chelsea is you never really know which Chelsea is gonna turn up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you never really
Exactly.
know which Chelsea is
Exactly.
gonna turn up.
the only surprise
And
result.
plus,
The only surprise
and
result was
also and also Chelsea are having a bit of problems with their defense. No, I personally I think that their defense
it's
makes they
trash.
make way too many they make way too many mistakes. So I think I think that might also like be one of the reasons why don't they don't make it to the final.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're saying you're going for a Manchester derby, right?
yeah, Manchester derby final.
So outside said Man City and Chelsea, but I'll be very objective here. I'm saying a shock. I think I'm going for London derby in the final.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm going for a
Ooh,
London
okay.
derby in the final. Yeah, because
Okay.
I see a shock.
I
You see
don't
Arsenal
know
beating.
what
But
I
are
see
you
anyway, no,
Arsenal.
this is a cup competition, so you never know what's gonna happen.
guys are
I see
smoking.
Arsenal beating Manchester City. I see them beating Man City. I see them beating. I may not be right. I may be
Actually, no,
wrong.
no.
But I see
Actually,
I see a London derby in the
They
final
are
between
sheep,
Arsenal and
man. They
Chelsea.
are
yeah,
sheep.
like, I think Arsenal make it to the final if they defend the way they defended against us today. I think that's
Yeah,
the only way they make it to the
Man
final.
City is
They take
actually
the
very
chance.
good.
Man
Yeah,
City doesn't even like the
they
good defense, so they could easily they can be
is
Man City. It's very possible.
yes, exactly. That's the thing. Like
Big
Man City's defense this season has also been a bit suspect. So
Hmm.
I feel like if Arsenal defend really well and they do the business at the end, then yeah, they have a chance. They have a chance of making it to the final.
For me, I
Just yeah,
think
they have to
I'm
defend
seeing
really
a
well.
London derby in the
You
final.
guys need to give me a reason, Chelsea's reason as to why you think that Chelsea are going to beat Manchester United. Because
Okay,
you have
my reason is why I believe Chelsea will beat United is one thing I've noticed about the Chelsea team is against any big team in the and ever since the Premier League have started this year, we've turned up. We may not be on their par with those
except
teams.
against United.
Yes, but what I noticed, what I noticed about Frank is when he wants to play team, he knows how to play them. If you look at in Stamford Bridge when we played Liverpool, we lost, but we can see the performance against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. Against United, we lost, but we can see the performance. We can see how we play them. Against Man City, when we play in the Stamford Bridge, when we beat them 2-1, we see how the team plays. So there is a chance that Chelsea play against this big team. We turn up against them. We surely turn up. And this is not just ordinary a small cup. This is semi-final. Those boys knows how. Those boys knows what is at stake for them, especially Lampard himself. He has won it as a player, so he knows what's at stake of winning an FA Cup. And
So
Roman also knows how to win because every manager that has took up Chelsea every
You know,
season.
Red Devil, you know the same way you doubted that Chelsea would defeat Manchester City. Many of us, not many people didn't see it coming. But
Yeah,
then it happened.
it
It can
happened.
be a mistake. It can be just anything. It can be
Anything
one
can
goal.
happen. I'm seeing a London
So,
derby.
I mean, sometimes we don't need to overanalyze things. We don't know how it will happen, but it can just happen.
And like I said, you never really know which Chelsea is gonna turn up.
Exactly. That's my.
if you guys lose, okay, I'm gonna say this right now here. Like, if you guys lose to Ollie 4 times in one
Yeah,
season,
no.
you're not gonna hear. I'm gonna be bantering you guys at least for the next month or so. Like, I will.
Like, index the badge.
I will.
Index
Will
the
that
badge.
satisfy you?
You've lost to the same manager. Like, you've lost the same manager, and I'll do the same thing to City fans. If we
Yeah,
beat,
no, like
No,
yeah,
what would actually
no,
matter is when you
honestly,
get all those points, I get all those
for
points.
Chelsea's
Where
sake,
would you be? Behind us.
sorry,
for Chelsea's sake, they must not lose to me. They must not lose to
They
Man
you
U.
must
can't.
exactly.
You
They
can't.
must.
They can't. They can't.
Say it's
Listen, top
acceptable.
4 is more important to
They
us
can't
than
because
the
your
just
football Twitter is going to go ham.
You can't say it's acceptable to lose to the same manager 4
Yes,
times
we
in
can.
1 year. No, you can't.
If it means
Wow.
getting into the Champions League places and you guys potentially lose, you guys eventually losing out to £25 million. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'll have that.
Oh no, but wait, no, man, no, man. I think no, Man United have two routes into the Champions League. The
Exactly.
by league
Win the
position
Europa League. Yeah, win the
or
Europa League.
winning the Europa League.
And it's for me, I think it's difficult because you have big teams that who can win it. We have the Wolves.
You won't
we have
even win the Europa League. I can assure you. You won't get to the season.
What? So, just out of curiosity, offside. When we played at the start of the season, do you think that Chelsea were going to beat Manchester United? What was your prediction at the beginning of the first time we met?
I was predicting
I expected
70.
United
I
to
was
win
predicting
because the
70.
odds were stacked up against Chelsea. Chelsea had a new manager, they had young players. The fact that we're even competing with you guys
4-0.
at this point
4-0
speaks
offside.
volumes.
4-0.
Yeah, you had it and what to do with it.
4-0.
If you remember very well, we have no Eden Hazard, our best player, which is we also have a transfer ban.
For goodness sake, we didn't have even
We
Eden
have a
Hazard.
coach, a man just starting on the job.
We don't have any. I
You had a-
imagine. Look at this. Imagine having Eden Hazard in this year Chelsea team. This thing would have looked very bad.
Okay, I know that actually does. No, that actually does put it. That actually does put it into context.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Chelsea out there, they had a transfer ban. They haven't spent the They haven't spent. I don't think they're not even done spending the Hazard money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they've already
You have a
signed
new manager,
Werner.
I
a
Sorry,
new
they've
young
already.
coach.
I think they're probably gonna get Timo Werner. They've already signed Hakim Ziyech. They might get Kai Havertz. We don't
Yeah,
know how
I
that's
just
gonna
made the
turn
news
out.
now that I have may sign in this coming
So
week.
if they can get those guys and get like a good center
Defender,
back, then
and goalkeeper.
they could really do things next season.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea could really do things next season. Same with Man United. If they can just get, I think maybe another center back, maybe another left back, they could do bits next season.
Mm-hmm. But it's gonna be tough though. But you can't just put him
Yeah.
as favorite. It's gonna be
All
very
I'm saying
difficult.
is, if you lose 4 times,
Yeah, I think like if they can get like the signings that they need, they can. I think like they'll be a bit more closer to Liverpool and Man City next season.
Mm-hmm. But I
Like
believe
the point gap won't be so big.
But I believe in the FA Cup, I'm seeing a London derby final. People I may not be right, but I have this feeling Arsenal will just think against Man City. They will just find a way to beat City. They will. I have that confidence.
That would be such an anticlimax.
Yeah, I think they will find a way to beat us to beat Man City. I'm seeing a London derby final between Arsenal and Chelsea.
Arteta masterclass.
The repeat of the Europa League
I'm not
final.
even sure the FA will let that happen.
I think it's possible. It's very possible.
I think a Manchester derby is more likely than a London derby. I think the
It's
general.
possible. When we say London derby final, it's very possible. The how may go against those big teams and just Chelsea may just against United. Chelsea may just it may be a lock. Chelsea could just nick it against United and boom, into the final. It's very because Arsenal wanted to play before us. So that's gonna give those other teams the motivation to be like, okay, who are we gonna face? We face Arsenal or we facing City? Even if we face City, I still say it, we're gonna turn up against City. I think we still can beat City. We can beat City. I am that confident we can still beat City. We can.
Yeah, anyone could beat. Last what City's proven that anyone could beat them this season. So we beat 3 times already. Like we beaten you guys 3 times, and so it's like it is what it is. So, but we'll see what happens. But all I would say, like I said, if you guys lose 4 times, to us, then it's just
Twitter is gonna be mad. I better be ready. I hope
you got to be ready. You got to be ready for the banter. Let alone if you lose to us and somehow don't get top 4. Because as I already explained in this show, Chelsea are one runners to getting top 4. The only way I can't see them getting top 4, or what they might struggle potentially, is if they lose their next 2 games.
Exactly, which I likely. I don't think it's possible though.
Well, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
It's possible, but for me, I think what will help us much is I think against those big teams, we turn up. We know what is at stake. Top 4 is at stake. So I think we're just gonna give all our heart and be like, they just play this match. If it is to sneak and win, we sneak and win.
Against Norwich, I don't think they knew what was at stake against Norwich.
For me, I think they took the match. I think for me, the Norwich match for me was let us find a way to win because Olivier Giroud missed too many chances. The player was not up to what they want. Even Lampard said it is an okay professional, just a professional win, just okay win. That's it. But I think against Liverpool and then Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's gonna be a big test, which is gonna show how good the Chelsea team will be, or how good them will be.
Yeah, because the race could actually go like to the wire, to the last day. Because Chelsea play Wolves
on Wednesday, and for me, if we win against Liverpool on Wednesday, it's completely over for me.
Yeah, if you it's fine. It's
over.
But if you lose,
for me, it's over. It's gonna be in between Leicester City and United, because if we win against Liverpool, it's over for me. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
But if you lose to Liverpool, which is
it goes to the last. Yeah, it goes like right to the wire.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I mean, as we said, like I think for me, like I said, for Chelsea, like Chelsea need to just make sure that, like, because I still think they'll drop points against Liverpool. I'm at least 90% sure that's the case. I just think it's unlikely to go to Anfield for the win. So if that is the case, you need to just make sure that Leicester City and United don't win their next 2 games.
Exactly.
If they win 2 games, then Leicester City and United will just play out for a draw.
What will cheer me up more is if Leicester City lose tomorrow, for me, it's bye to it. It's completely over. It's done. Yeah. If they lose tomorrow, it's done. It's done. Because I can guarantee they can't be sport. They cannot be Tottenham Hotspur with their form. No, they cannot. They can't be Tottenham Hotspur.
They'll need to beat those. Yeah, that's what I would say. Really, they need. If Leicester City not, it's over for Chelsea. Have pretty much got top 4.
So my next question is between these 2 guys, Oblak and Arrizabalaga.
Now I'll speak to you guys. Okay, take care, everybody. See you later. Let me know what you
want. So my question to offside
I wish you the least of luck your next game.
Least of luck. If you lose 4 times, you know what's coming. That's all I'm saying.
Bye. I wish you the least of luck. Go. You can now go. Bye.
Don't worry. So my next question is in between these 2 guys. So let me ask offside first. I see a need between Oblak and Arrizabalaga. Like just want a swap deal between Atletico Madrid, Oblak, and Arrizabalaga. Even Diego Simeone came out and said that he only hope Oblak stays with them. That if Chelsea kind of bring money to Atletico and Oblak himself decide to leave, that there's nothing he could do to it. That it's complete nothing. It's in Oblak hand to decide. Now it now depends on Oblak to move. So what Chelsea are doing is they're swapping. They're giving Atletico Madrid Arrizabalaga and they're getting Oblak. So offside, what's your take on this? So you getting Oblak?
I don't even see chances of that transfer actually happening. Because number one, there's a lot of money involved. Oblak is actually rated at 112 million pounds, if I remember correctly. And chances of Chelsea spending that. So even if you're talking about a player plus cash deal, I don't think Atletico Madrid will rate Kepa anywhere near 72 million pounds that Chelsea actually got him, and it will mean a lot of money to be spent for Chelsea. Right? Atletico Madrid as well. I don't even think they rate Kepa at all to even want him in their side. The guy is not even rated in Spain, even though he's one of their top goalkeepers, or he has been the first choice in the past couple of games, international games. But then again, that's aside. I read the statements that Diego Simeone made, and he said, Oblak is a captain, right?
Yeah.
And fortunately for them, it's easier for them to keep him because they play Champions League football. So what would he want elsewhere? They're one of the biggest teams in the Champions League these days. They rarely have to fight. I mean, it's like at the end of every season, they're sure of being in the Champions League. So why would he want to leave that and come to Chelsea? That's the question. I don't think that transfer would actually happen. I don't see it happening, to be honest.
Okay, so do you see this one happening between Kepa and Onana? Does it happen? Does that happen?
Kepa and Onana, I don't know how that will happen. Would Ajax be getting cash? Because I don't think they would want to swap Onana for Kepa without collecting cash. And that would be a lot of money to be lost on the side of Chelsea. If you ask me honestly, I feel like what is most likely to happen actually is the deal between Chelsea and Sevilla. I think Valencia or Sevilla. I can't remember the club that wants to take
2 years loan. 2 years loan.
Yes, that's what is most likely to me. And probably Chelsea go out there and get Onana. Maybe a 2-year loan with an obligation to buy or something.
Okay.
More, yes.
So Liverpool guy, do you see Oblak and Kepa kind of happening, or it's a no for you?
No, I don't see it happening because first of all, like the finances. Chelsea paid a lot of money for Kepa, so obviously they're gonna want to recoup some of that money. And also the issues. I don't think Atletico would be willing to sell Oblak because Oblak is like a top 5. There's a top 5 goalkeeper.
At the
And
moment,
obviously, Kepa's performances haven't really helped him. So, like, I feel like Kepa's performance have also, brought down his marketing value. So, I don't think it would make sense for Atletico on that side. And then also like Atletico challenge consistently in the Champions League. They're always reaching quarters, round of 16, semis. So it's really it really wouldn't make sense for this transfer wouldn't make sense, I think, for other parties.
wow.
But just because of like the money, just because of like the money involved, the money involved. I mean, unless like unless Chelsea were willing to find someone who'd be willing to buy Kepa. I mean, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 million. And then maybe then perhaps maybe they would have enough money to because let's not forget, like Oblak won't come cheap. Let's
Yeah,
look at like Oblak won't come. Like Oblak is a top 5 goalkeeper, so he ain't gonna come for cheap.
exactly.
So that's also So I feel like the only thing that's holding back this transfer will be like the finances involved. The
Exactly.
finances involved. Yeah.
But do you see Onana and Arrizabalaga happening? Onana of Ajax and Arrizabalaga.
Okay, yeah, that one I can. Okay, that one I can definitely see happen because Ajax are a selling club, and they would. I feel like they would sell Onana if they got the right offer. And again, it would also. I think it would also depend on whether or not Chelsea would be able to find someone who's probably willing to pay 50, 60 million for Keita. I'm sorry for Kepa, because obviously Chelsea will also want to recoup some of the money that they paid for Kepa.
Kepa,
So
okay.
it depends on like a lot of factors. But I think that transfer would I think like that transfer would be more realistic than Oblak to Chelsea.
Okay.
I think Onana to Chelsea sounds a bit more realistic.
Oh, okay. So my next question goes on them to offside at the moment. Offside. So my question to you is, out of the
Yeah.
defender you've been seeing now, which one is your preferred choice being the Chelsea fans? So I'm gonna give you
I
four.
don't understand.
Out
Out
of
of
the
what?
four, you're gonna choose one that you are very confident that if it comes to this team gonna look very balanced. But because for me, the four defender we have Christensen, Tomori, Zuma, and Rudiger, they are good, but none of them are on. They are like they are not that. What I would
World
say is
class.
they're
Good
good,
enough.
but they are not on the level of the defender we'll be seeing like Van Dijk, Sergio Ramos, or Milan
Mm-hmm.
Skriniar, all this kind of defender, Aymeric Laporte. They are not on the level of those kind of defender. So out of these four defender now, who are you confident that we can get? I'm not saying easily get, but we can actually get. Um, Nathan Hake, Skriniar of Inter
Okay.
Milan, because I think Inter Milan wants to sell Milan Skriniar. It's been put on sale by Antonio Conte. He wants to sell
Mm-hmm.
Milan Skriniar,
Yeah.
Nathan
Mm-hmm.
Hake of what's called of
Bodman.
Bournemouth, and I think this defender from I'm not sure of his name, but I'm hearing there's some news of this Villarreal defender, is it Pau Torres or what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Is it something like that though? So he's a defender too. He plays for Villarreal. A central back for Villarreal. And also the last one is what's his name? I've forgotten the last person. I thought the news kind of flashed in the 2000, but I'm not sure how good of a defender he
It's
is.
not Koulibaly.
I don't think I think Man City is gonna get Koulibaly though. I think Man City.
But he
Yeah,
made,
looks
Koulibaly
like
made a
it.
statement saying that he has never told the club that he wants to leave. Actually, that he'll be willing to sign a new contract to finish his career at Napoli.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
so
think I had the news.
Damn, really?
Exactly, I had the
yeah.
news. Yeah, I had the news too. So, who is your ideal central back that you wish for?
Honestly, I'll take Skriniar. I'll take Skriniar. Number one, he's at the peak. I mean, he has played. I've watched Nathan Ake, and I feel like he might just fit in as one of the average Joes Chelsea currently has.
Mm-hmm.
And any mistakes he makes, I mean, he won't be able to take up that responsibility of providing defensive solidity that Chelsea actually needs. And maybe too much for him. They're used to his face basically, and it will be easy for people to criticize him and make it more difficult for him. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
he's actually as good as Skriniar. Skriniar has more experience. I mean, in that level, if you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
At that level, sorry, if you get what I mean, at Inter Milan, and he's just at the right age. He's I think 25, 25 or 26 thereabouts.
25
The
years,
fact
25,
that Antonio Conte wants
25, 25.
25, yes. The fact that Antonio Conte wants to get rid of him does not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily mean that he's not good enough or he's not a good defender. I've always admired his play. I feel he can bring that confidence that Chelsea needs at the back. Sometimes some of the defenders, especially second defenders, it's not necessarily that they are so bad, but they need to play next to someone, good or someone confident, for you to see the best in them. And I feel like Skriniar, from the number of the people you've actually mentioned, I feel like Skriniar will actually be the best option, best decision for Chelsea. I don't think his transfer fees are actually so high as well. That's the thing. Coming
Okay.
from
I think the last person I wanted to. I think no, Inter Milan wants to sell him 50 though, 50 million.
really
So 50 million. Yeah,
50
50 million.
million
I think Conte
euros.
doesn't kind of rate. Yeah,
That should
50.
be about 40 something, 40 maybe 44 or
And Chelsea
45
can easily afford that.
million pounds.
Yeah, exactly, 50 million. So I'm not sure why Conte doesn't want him in his team. I'm not sure, but it's been put on sales already. He wants to leave. I'm not sure why Conte doesn't rate him, but I think it's been put on sales by Inter Milan board that they want to sell him to recoup money. I'm not sure why he's done that way, but I think Inter wants to sell him. Maybe they want to recoup money. I'm not sure, but it wants to be sold. So you're going for Milan Skriniar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Liverpool guys, what do you think? Do you also think Milan Skriniar is kind of the better choice, or you still feel there's a defender outside that can do better?
the problem is like a lot of elite clubs need center backs, and
Mhm.
center backs aren't really aren't really in we don't really have a lot of good center backs around. But no, I think this would be a very good signing for. I don't really watch Serie A that much, but like the few times that I've especially like Inter Milan, like I've been impressed by Skriniar. So now, yeah, this I feel like if Chelsea were if they were to sign a center back, I think yeah, this probably should be like one of the guys that they could go for, or alternatively they could go for. I don't know what you guys think about this one, but they could go for Upamecano from Leipzig,
How is the Leipzig?
like as yeah as from RB, like as an alternative. I'm not sure what you think about that.
I have I watched Leipzig, but not that much. How good is Upamecano? Because it's kind of young. It's still young, but I understand he could make
Yeah, that's
it.
an
How
advantage.
good of a player is he?
He's young, so
How
obviously,
good?
yeah, obviously because he's young, he's obviously gonna improve. And I feel like yeah, he would fit like the whole Chelsea, because obviously like, Chelsea are trying to they're
Chelsea
trying to
needs a
promote
leader,
young
someone that
player.
can be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
And
is
I
true.
feel like you just come in. If you bring in someone that is not a leader, that's why I said. That's why. Sorry for cutting you short, please. That's why I feel like Chelsea needs a proper leader like Koulibaly or Van Dijk, or even though as you said, I agree with you that there are not many good, really world class centre backs in the market right now, or even playing at all right now. But if you bring in the Leipzig guy, he'll just flow. You remember what Rudiger looked like when Chelsea first signed him? At some
Yeah.
point, Zuma even looked great. But when they just come in and mistakes happening here and there, we need a leader that can coordinate that back line,
Yeah.
instill confidence and organization in that back line. And if you bring in the guy from Leipzig, I'm not trying to pronounce his name, so I don't bite my tongue.
I am Upamecano.
Um,
How is the Leipzig?
yeah, Upamecano, yeah. If you bring
Upamecano.
him in, I feel like he'll just fit in and just become one of the average Joes there in the back line. That's what
But
I think.
mhm. But I think for me, I'm not sure what your take is about this guy I want to mention. But I think if given chance, I think it could be the leader we've been looking for without just spending 60 million, 70 million on a defender. That if it's still a probability, if given chance, it may be a very proper defender we've been looking for many years. Is Etanampadu. I've been saying it. That guy has a leadership kit.
Oh damn!
What?
I forgot. Wait, yeah,
Yeah,
that
he has
guy's
a
on loan,
leadership
right? That guy's on loan.
Yeah, he
Damn,
has
I
a
keep
Yeah.
forgetting
leadership
about that
skill.
guy.
So I think for me, if given chance and given proper playing time, he could be the leader
Yeah, like
for many years. I've watched him play in Leipzig. I think he only played 2 or 3 matches in Leipzig. Even the RB
Yeah,
Leipzig coach said it.
he barely played in Leipzig.
Yeah, I
When
think
I
that's what I
when
said.
I
Two or
first
three
saw him
matches.
play.
The Leipzig coach said because he has too many defenders in his end. That's why Ampado has not been playing. But he
That means he
said
wasn't good enough.
he
Would
said
he
if
not be
he's
good enough for Chelsea?
even what's his name? Nagelsmann said if he's given proper training, proper playing time, he could be the leader any team wants in their team because he's
So
that
why
good of a
didn't he
player.
give him the proper playing time?
Because they have a good we have Upamecano, they have what's called this
That
guy
means he's
yeah,
not
bro.
good enough.
Like
That's the point. That means he's not
Ibrahim
good enough
Kanouté.
to
Ibrahim
upset those
Kanouté.
guys.
hmm
nah, no.
So
Ampadu is not getting ahead of Upamecano. No,
exactly.
no, no, no,
So
no,
Exactly.
no, no.
no, it's not.
And
So
that's the
that's not.
same kid. That same kid you want to come and instill that confidence in Chelsea's back line. He needs to go
Mhm.
somewhere else. Learn. He's too small for that. When I mean small in frame, stature, experience, everything. Imagine him commanding Rudiger. I mean, it's still too early for that. Honestly.
Hey, I mean, Delic was doing that at Ajax.
The way to do that than Ajax though.
I mean, that guy was wearing the captain's armband at 19. So, like, I
Yeah.
mean, I mean,
But I think according to what you said outside, it's true. But I think what Lampard said is he said it's not that the defenders are not good, but they lack communication between each other. He said the problem about the
yeah, and the
defenders
way
is
they make way too many mistakes.
too many. He said number 5 has to know his position as number 5. Number 6 has to know his position as number 6. You have to shout. If the player beside you doesn't do well. You as a number 5 in the middle, you have to let the other person know you're doing something wrong. You gotta change your position. But he said the lack of communication is what makes us concede tons of goals, which as a manager he doesn't like. He said he told them every time in training, you guys know your position. You're
How
5.
long can miscommunication cause a problem throughout the season? So what is he doing during trainings? What is he coaching them? If for a whole season lack of communication keeps making them concede, I don't want to say stupid goals, but yeah, stupid goals. It doesn't
Yeah,
make sense. That means there's a problem with either his coaching or the players. He should pick a battle.
So, but do you think it's a is a form of leadership skill that is affecting them, or they just like something like a leader, like someone like John Terry, like pull shout on those defenders like those days when we have John Terry and Cavajo at the back line, you can't pass those two because they all know their jobs as a defender. But at the moment, this kind of defender doesn't kind of exist in modern football. It's been kind of Van Dijk, this kind of the ball playing central back. No, no, in those years on 2004, 5, 6, 7, no ball playing central back. But at the moment, all team have been playing ball from the back, which is the way modern football has been played at
yeah,
the right now. So before you consider a player of John Terry, um, Carvalho is gonna take huge lot of time, because the kind of way the defender we're having at the moment, none of them have those caliber of defending skills those defender have. Even the kind of defending Sergio Ramos does, I don't think some of the defender we have now can do this kind of stuff Ramos does. So it's gonna be tough
mm,
to get a central back that can be long time for me. It will be very tough. That's why I wouldn't blame the Chelsea board at the moment. Even Lampard, I won't blame him too much because which defender you want to spend money on at the moment? No, no defenders. No defender. So now you just have to wait till the season finish, then we analyze, then we see where the problem is. And that depends on the club if the club really want to sell.
You
It's gonna
want
be
you
very,
want to wait and be analyzing when you have just 2 weeks transfer window. Hey, this season
I
has
think no, I
started.
think
The
the
next season
transfer will
will.
open June the
Let's not
27th
deceive
and it
ourselves.
close.
yeah. It
I
opens on
think
the
it's
27th.
July 27th and it closed August the 5th. October the 5th. So we
Yeah,
have
Yes,
like
it's in 2
2 weeks.
weeks.
No, 10 weeks, 10 weeks.
The transfer window is not to 2 months.
No, it's 2 weeks. I think it opens
It's two
July
weeks. I read it
27th.
earlier today.
What I saw is July 27th to October the 5th. That's what I saw though.
so, yeah. So basically like a whole. So basically like 1 month. Then.
1 month, yeah, 1 month for me.
Yeah.
July 27th to like October the 5th. So I think there's still a chance to get a defender for me though. There's still a chance for me to get a defender. So I'm gonna ask this question now, but I think I've been asking this question a long time ago, but I think I need to bring it up again. So offside, I think this question is gonna be directly to you now. So I think
Okay.
Emerson Palmieri will possibly leave for Inter Milan, and I'm
Okay.
seeing maybe Jorginho may also go to Juventus. Possibly, I think it's Emerson going to Inter Milan is 90%, but Jorginho is like between 40 to 60. So I think at the moment, what we're going to at the moment is I think we need to sell some players to bring in players in. In those midfield we have now, take out Kante, just take out Golo Kante at the moment, just take him out. From Barkley to Mount to Ruben at the moment, which player is good and is better than Kai Havertz at the moment?
Which player is good?
Those three midfield I just mentioned is kind of far better than Kai Havertz at the moment.
Sorry, you said Kante.
Take out Kante, just take out Kante. Just take out Kante at the moment.
Okay.
We have Mason Mount, Ruben left to shake, and then was Barkley. Those three midfield, who is much like you can base the chance and say this kind of player is better than Kai Havertz. If
Better
eventually
than
we think Kai Havertz.
that.
Like what? Based on the whole
If you
season?
pick one player,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the players at their best, when they're
Mm-hmm.
in good kind of form, I'll go for
Mm-hmm.
Loftus Cheek.
Left to shake.
I'll go for Loftus Cheek, yes.
Mm.
Because I feel like he brings everything. I mean, ordinarily, I would say Kai Havertz is better than him. Okay, no,
Mm-hmm.
let me not say Kai Havertz is better than him because I've not really watched Kai Havertz very well. But for me,
Mm-hmm.
of all these three players you mentioned, the best that
Mm-hmm.
stands out for me is Barkley. What am I saying? Am I okay? Barkley at the bottom of the list. I would say the best is Loftus Cheek. before Messi Mount and then Barkley. That's my opinion.
So that Loftus-Cheek is like, in your opinion, is better than Kai Havertz.
In my opinion, he's not better. I can't say for certain because I've not watched Kai Havertz. But if you ask me
Mm-hmm.
to pick the best of the three,
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick Loftus-Cheek. But I'm not saying Loftus-Cheek is better. I mean, I think it's but you're boxing me in a corner if you tell me to just pick one person that's better than Kai Havertz. Even if because I may not agree that the person or anybody that's better than Kai Havertz, which is my
Mm-hmm.
actual position, because I've not watched Kai properly enough to make that judgment on him.
Okay. Okay. So if eventually we sign Kai Havertz now, so being as a fan now, who will you put on the bench? Like, a hypothetical question. Who will you gonna say? You can say this guy, you need to sit on the bench. Just watch how this guy play. Mason Mount, Mateo Kovacic, Barkley, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
What?
Who will you put on the bench?
Barkley
Excluding
will not even. Barkley won't even get near the
Kante,
bench.
because Kante is gonna start in all matches. Excluding Kante, those four midfielders I just
Barkley
mentioned.
won't even get near the bench. I've answered you already. Don't stress. He won't even make it as far as the bench. In all honesty.
So you wouldn't even put Barkley in them. You put him on the
At
bench.
all.
Like,
There won't be space for him on the bench.
no space. Oh, wow. Wow. So you probably start Kai Havertz like in your starting 11, week in and week out, every matches.
Maybe not weekend. I mean, you have to rotate at some point.
Mm-hmm.
The questions you're asking me are kind of tricky. I wouldn't say week in, week out because he has to rest. Of course, he's only human.
Mm-hmm.
But for my first 11, based on what I know about him so far, he will definitely start ahead of Barkley. That's certain. Yeah, maybe give or take, ahead of even Kovacic because of how offensive he can be. Kovacic has to improve his game. He has to, find some other things to contribute to the side because that creativity and penetration that he can give the team, Kai Havertz is going to be bringing it. So his end product is something he has to improve on to increase his chances of being on the side. Which is why I say I'll pick Loftus-Cheek actually starting ahead of these guys is actually high for me because Loftus-Cheek has end product. He has assists as well. The busting runs, creativity, he's physical. That's why I'll pick him ahead of these other guys you mentioned.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna put Kai Havertz. Okay, good. So if I put guys, who will you go for? Kai Havertz. Okay. In those matches we have at the moment, being a Liverpool fan, so who will you beat your chest and say, okay, I think in terms of rotation stuff, I think this guy can just put Kai Havertz on the bench at the moment. Take out Kante. Take out Kante at the moment because for me, is has been the undisputed midfielder we have ever had for many years. So just take him out. The remaining midfielder we have at the moment, who can you beat your chest and say, yeah, this one will put Kai Havertz on the bench. These players, we just put them on the bench for them at the moment.
I'm not sure. Okay, which midfielder has been? Okay, yeah, no, this is actually really difficult. Okay, wait. Which midfielder is like? Which midfielders are you?
Jorginho, Kovacic.
Okay.
We
I
have
think.
Jorginho, Kovacic,
Yeah.
Barkley, Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Well, I mean,
I'm
Ruben
taking
has
out
been
Kante at the
injured. Yeah.
moment. I'm just taking him now,
Yeah.
excluding Kante.
Well, for me, like Ruben has been injured for most of the. He hasn't played like a lot of games this season. So yeah, I think I might have to take him out. Oh, because of that. I think I don't know.
Yeah.
This might sound controversial, but I think I'll
But
probably.
sorry. But isn't the question? Isn't the question supposed to be when they're their best? Isn't that what the question is?
Not on okay. At the moment, not on their bed. At the moment. My question is at the moment, in kind of the midfielder we have at the moment. If eventually we sign
Oh,
Kai
is this?
Havertz,
And
who
are
who
we?
can you beat your
And are we basing this like all of like the whole season or like since the restart?
no for the whole entire season?
Or for the whole entire season?
Fully
This
fit,
might
fully
sound a
fit,
bit.
fully,
Yeah.
fully fit. When you say fully fit, Ruben fit, back everybody fit. Exclude the Kante, just take out Kante, take him out. Don't put Kante in that mix. Don't put him in. Exclude Kante.
This is gonna sound controversial, but I think I don't know. Maybe Mason Mount.
Mason Mount.
Maybe yeah. Because I mean, like I said, I haven't. Yeah, like I said, like Ruben hasn't. Like Ruben has been injured like most of the season. Yeah, for most of the season, he hasn't played like a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think out of the like rest of the mid, I think like Mount has. Yeah, obviously like Mount has had a very impressive debut season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think perhaps maybe he might. Okay, I wouldn't say he's better at. I wouldn't say like okay he's better at. But then at the same time, I haven't really seen Carl Havertz play,
Yeah.
so like I can't really make a decision based on that. But I think yeah, Mason out of those guys, Mason Mount will probably be the one guy who would probably be able to give Carl Havertz like a bit of competition
Mm-hmm.
if he was to sign for Chelsea.
Wow. So you're going for for Mason Mount, right?
Yeah, Mason Mount.
Wow. So offside, are you still gonna stand on them Ruben left to shake, or you're gonna change your view?
I mean, I just I just give my feedback basically based on what I've seen what I've seen that all players can do over time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about based on just now, I think it may be an unfair judgment because
So,
we're
no,
talking
the
about
entire
next.
season,
If we're talking
fully
about
fit.
Kai Havertz, we're talking
Yeah.
about next season.
Mm-hmm.
So we also, I mean, I think in that regard, it's only fair to judge other players, based on what they can do next season. Because we don't know, Kai Havertz may come in next season, I may not be as good or be injured.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's in the future. If we're talking about future, it's only fair to judge
Yeah.
people based on the best of their ability, the best we've seen them put out. And that was based on that I passed my judgment. Or I
Mm-hmm.
gave my own verdict. I made my own verdict. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever case it may be, Barkley is not going to make anywhere near the list for me. So that's a sign. Nowhere. If you leave him, you'll be out of the team entirely.
So I'm talking about this guy now. I think it should be confirmed this weekend. If not, it's gonna be confirmed next week. Victor Osimhen to Napoli. So guys, what's your take on him? Offside, Victor Osimhen to Napoli.
Well, Victor Osimhen going to Napoli. First of all, of course, you know where I'm coming from when I say that's a good one for him. Seeing
Mm-hmm.
where he's coming from, it's a massive one for him. I've always said the guy seems like he's still raw, right? He has the aggression, he has the talent, he has the hunger, he has everything that's needed. He just needs a proper manager. I don't know if what's his name, Napoli coach,
Gattuso,
what's his name? Gattuso.
Gattuso.
I don't know if Gattuso is the right manager to do that. I don't know if Gattuso is the right manager to do that. But then again, the guy is raw, and he seems like he's willing to do all that's needed to get it done. Good for him. Good for Napoli. The pressure may not be too much. May not. I know Italy is an Italian fans. Can be very demanding. I expect him to
Mm-hmm.
fit in at some point. I expect him to fit in. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
exactly sure if he'll fit into the style of Napoli.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
my problem, yeah.
Hmm. So how good of a player can he be into the Napoli team? Because Akadu Milik and them was called who's playing in the right wing for them? This right winger. What's the decision gonna be in between him and them, Dries Martins? So how good of a player is Victor Osimhen? So how good of a player do you view Victor Osimhen to be? Oh, it's outside there. Man, she made it himself. So Liverpool guys, what's your take on Victor Osimhen
Oh,
to
it was a
Napoli?
question for me. I wasn't aware.
Yeah, it was for you. I was asking like, Akadu Milik and what's called what's his name? Callejon are leaving Napoli when the season finished. So I think the competition is gonna might be between Dries Martins and Osimhen. So how good of a player is Victor to Napoli? How good of a player is he?
Well, I think I already addressed that when I said
Mhm.
I don't know if you fit into. I used to watch Napoli more often, or better when Sarri was there, and
Mm-hmm.
shortly after Sarri left, but before Gattuso joined them. Since Gattuso joined them, and they've won the cup, yes, but I'm not exactly sure how good they are on, especially on the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Osimhen is a player that likes to play. He's pacey,
Mm-hmm.
he's rapid, and playing a counter-attacking style of football may suit him better than the regular passing here and there. So I can't say whether it suits him. I've not exactly watched Napoli with Gattuso, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if he seems like a player that is willing to learn and has a hunger and everything to get results. I just hope he'll keep his head down and do what he has to do. But he will definitely be an important player for Napoli. Bearing
Oh,
in mind that Spain, Italy isn't the same as France. It's a different eggs to fry it.
exactly. So Liverpool fans, what's your take on Victor Osimhen to Napoli?
Okay, like I don't know too much about this deal, but like I mean, it looks like Napoli have bought like a really good prospect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my only issue would be like like how will he be able to adapt to different styles of play, because I think like teams in the league earn a bit more attacking compared to
Yeah.
the Serie A, which is more of a defensive league. And also like also with Gattuso, we don't really know like if he's the type of manager who's really good at developing young talented players like this guy. So yeah, it's really it's really nothing really much is known. I think it's more of, I think maybe it's just more of like hope. Everyone's just hoping that everything but you obviously, you only just hope that he'll go to Napoli and succeed. He's gone to a club, which you would argue that they do challenge for the title. Sometimes, they're in the Champions League regularly, so he will be playing against very good quality opponents like every
Mm-hmm.
season
Yeah.
consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's just really for him. I think it's just really the sky. The sky is the limit for him. He just has to. I think he just has to work hard. Keep his head down and just and if he does that, he'll be. I think he can really be a good. He can really be successful at Napoli.
For me, I'm being a Chelsea fan now. I do not want to go like being biased. I will take Victor Osimhen ahead of Tammy Abraham. Like I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'm being factual. I'm not sure if offside is gonna go with what I said, but maybe she has her own say. I'm gonna ask offside about that. But for me, I think I'm gonna go with Victor Osimhen here. If it is Chelsea, I'm gonna go for him than getting Tammy Abraham because Victor Osimhen is someone who can run into a defender needs a striker who can kind of give him a difficulties in marking. That's what you need in a striker. Who knows when the space is, when the right back or the left back puts in a cross, you know the striker is gonna be there to put the ball in the net. But that's kind of a striker Victor Osimhen is very pacey, is strong. He can score. Yeah, when you talk about striker, you need intelligence, smartness, direction. You know someone who can take chances. For me, I don't really think in a one-on-one situation with goalkeeper, Tamamba is that good. But I think in a one-on-one situation, I think Victor is more intelligent than Tammy for me. He's more intelligent of a player, of a striker, of his caliber
100%.
than Tammy Abraham.
Even if he doesn't score,
Mm-hmm,
he's close to Giroud to the extent that even if he doesn't score, he'll
mm-hmm,
constitute a nuisance. He'll disturb the defenders. Do you get? He
mm-hmm,
doesn't make it easy for defenders. So even if he doesn't end up scoring,
mm-hmm,
he'll make spaces and opportunities for his teammates and wingers to do the job.
mm-hmm. Exactly. So for me, I would prefer Victor Osimhen than what's called than Tammy Abraham. That's me being a Chelsea. People may disagree, but for me, I will go with Victor Osimhen for me. If it is Chelsea that has the one bidding for him than getting Tammy Abraham, that's for me being a Chelsea fan. Some fans may kind of not agree with me, but since I've watched Victor in the League On, for me I will go with Victor ahead of Tammy for me. Ahead of
He's
Tammy
one.
for me. So I think my last question before we run up everything is like I think I will ask some after this question.
Yeah.
Olivier Giroud has been our top nine striker. Yes, for me.
Yeah.
And Christian Pulisic has been playing very well, playing very, very well. He's been scoring and he's assisting. Now, Hakim Ziyech has come in. Now, Pulisic is playing very well. So, where do you fit in those players eventually if Timo Werner comes in? So, I know I've asked this question, but I think I'm going to ask you again. Do you play Timo and Christian together, or you play Christian Pulisic ahead of Timo Werner? Then you play Olivier Giroud in the front, or you play both Christian Pulisic and Timo Werner together with Hakim Ziyech in behind them, or you switch it around. How do you play them?
The number of times you asked me this question, I may end
Yeah.
up contradicting myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope I don't. But as I've said before, I don't know how Lampard will do that. It's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult one. A good problem that I would imagine Lampard would like to have.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, Pulisic, I understand Pulisic has played from the right. I mean, he used to play from the right when he was at Dortmund.
Mm-hmm.
So moving him to the right may not be necessarily a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it may end up being, weakening his abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it's a gamble between using his or maximizing his abilities to maximizing Timo Werner's abilities. Timo Werner is very from the wing. He plays better from the wing. He has scored more goals. He was moved to the wing by Nigel, his former
What's
coach.
his name?
Yeah,
Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I think it's Lampard made the decision. Whoever he feels is more clinical or will contribute with more goals from the wing. I think he might end up playing Timo Werner from that wing, which may not necessarily be a bad thing. And then Pulisic moves over to the right. That's what may happen. And at the end of the day, we might have a player like I would even prefer Giroud. Giroud to play better with Timo Werner than Tammy Abraham would, because Tammy can't even hold up play. He can't win any aerial balls. He can't even bring his teammates into the game. So, in my opinion, what I would rather do is have Tammy up front, Pulisic on the right,
Mm-hmm.
Ziyech through the middle, Kai Havertz, um, and what's his name, Loftus Cheek behind him, and Kante.
So,
Kante just
what you
from
just
centre
mentioned
mid.
now? What formation is that? Is it a 4-5-1, a 4-4-2, a 4-3-3, or a 4-2?
I don't know which one you're calling formation. I'm just thinking of. I don't like mentioning formation. For me, it's about because I've told this severally. It's not just about formation. Many managers, many teams play 4-3-3. It's the application that matters,
Yeah.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
for me, I don't bother about thinking which one is the coach. That one is too much headache for me to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say based on what I perceive is the strengths and the weaknesses of the players available. That will
Mm-hmm.
be my verdict.
Okay.
I
So,
don't
Liverpool
worry
guys,
about formation.
who do you
Rest.
feel could play in? Like, even I know Giroud has been our top nine striker there, and he's scoring goals. So, where do you play Timo? Where do you play Christian Pulisic? And where do you play Hakim Ziyech? So, Liverpool guy, you there? I think he made himself.
Yeah, I'm there. Hello. Yeah, I'm back. I think actually, oh, this is actually really. Actually, no. I think actually you play Pulisic, Ziyech, and Werner in the front three. Pulisic and Ziyech on the wings, and then Werner through the middle. I think. I
But
think
Timo
it.
Werner
I
can
think.
play in the middle. He can play in the. It's not that really good as in the middle. It's better playing in the. It's like, because it's an inside forward, so it's better playing in the
Actually,
wing
no.
than playing in the.
I think it's. I feel like it's dependent on like what kind of formation. It's dependent on like what kind of formation. Lampard play. If he plays a 4-3-3, then I
Mm-hmm.
think I think Pulisic. Unfortunately, I think Pulisic uh goes to the drops to the bench, and then I think your front three is Ziyech, Werner, and Giroud. But
Mm-hmm.
then if if he plays a 4-2-3-1, then
Mm-hmm.
I think then I think then all four of these guys play. I think all four of these guys start.
So if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, so you play eventually you send Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech,
Oh,
Timo Werner,
okay. No,
and those players.
because I'm thinking you play I think you play Giroud up top,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Pulisic and Werner play on the wings, and then
So
Ziyech
who
plays in
play on
the
the
yeah
left? Who will
no.
play on the
Then
left?
Ziyech plays. Then
Yeah.
Because I have
But
also
who
can
would
play as
play
a
on the
number
left
10
for
too.
you? Who would you pick to play on the left? I'm just curious.
Exactly.
oof, oof, yeah, that's actually a really um
I've not really watched Pulisic play from the right as a proper
He
for
has played.
long.
He played in the right in the Dortmund era. He played in the right very well under Klopp. He plays very well on the right, very well
Mm.
under Klopp when he was in Dortmund. When they won the Bundesliga ahead of Bayern Munich, because Klopp plays him a lot on the right, he doesn't play him on the left. He got a player under.
But if he's that good or if his preferred position is right, I
Mm-hmm.
would think Lampard would have played William because William prefers playing from the left,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Hazard was around, there was a problem. William rather would prefer to play on the left because that he moved to the right. So I
Yeah.
would have thought that okay, since William is most senior of both of them, that Lampard would have moved William to the left and then played Pulisic on the right, where he's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Is it that he's not so good on the right? I've not watched him play on that wing, so I don't know. I just want to know what the Liverpool guy thinks.
So because I think eventually if we get Kayaba can play as number 10 also too. So there's gonna be because Akim Ziyech plays as an inside forward the way Timo Werner play. It drifts in. It doesn't stay on the right wing. It drifts in. He could play left. He
Uh-huh.
could play right. He could play in the middle. It drifts. He can even play as in the midfield area too. If you want to play, he can even play him in the midfield and attacking midfield. He can play him as number 8 also too. It works there. So it now depends on how you want to move the players around the team. So where do you play those players? Where do you play them?
yeah, like I said, it depends on like what kind of formation Lampard wants to pick.
Hmm. So does it based on the team we're playing or just on based on the formation entirely itself?
Like what is the question?
I mean, is it based on the team we're playing or just based on the formation itself?
Um, and I think it's best because remember, like we like with everything that like you need to have you obviously need to have you obviously need to you always want to have balance
Mm-hmm.
in your team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really it's I think I think it just really depends on Lampard. Just really depends on Lampard. Because I think because he's been playing I think most of the season he's been playing with the 4-3-3 formation. I think like
Yeah.
he's only gone to the 4-2-3 one formation on like very few occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, plus I think it also depends like if like it also depends like if Chelsea do decide to let because I personally think that Chelsea do have a lot of midfielders. I think that they're
Mm-hmm.
very stacked.
I think for me,
Yeah, they
Jorginho Barkley, and I think Emerson is guaranteed to go. 90% sure is going
yeah.
to Inter Milan. So I think Jorginho may leave for Juventus. It
Yeah.
depends. I think Jorginho may leave. So now it depends. Okay, if Jorginho,
Which is
Emerson,
which is why I mean I'm not saying like do Chelsea really need Kai Havertz because like that's another midfielder that they'll be getting
yeah,
essentially.
I think what we like this year has been creativity. Pulisic has always been our best player. We need someone that can shoulder help Pulisic. Like in some matches, we need a creative player in that team. Mason Mount is good, but it's not that creative enough. We need someone that can disturb opposition team. Apart from Pulisic, Willian hasn't done anything for me this year. It's just been flop. It's not, but we need a player who can bring it, who can frustrate a defender. Like with a defender will commit into his hand. That's the kind of player we need. And I believe in getting Kayava can play any position you want him to play. He has that intelligence of making a defender commit, making a defender make mistakes. He has that potential in himself.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have Kai Havertz now and you have Pulisic, that's a danger. You also have Timo Werner. That's a killer for you. And you have someone like Kim Ziyech who can play any position you want him to play. Then that that's a plus for you. So, but
True.
Mason Mount is good, but does he have that creativity? I don't think so because he still needs to learn. But when you have someone of
Yeah, he,
when you have someone of
yeah, but
I
he
have
has the
a
potential.
mhm. Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Akim Ziyech, who have been playing on a high like Champions League, this kind of league that knows like when to shoot and when to pass and when to dribble. Those are the kind of player you need. This that will commit a defender that will make them make mistake. That's the player you need at the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
True, 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 true.
Like what you said, it depends on Lampard. It depends on him. But where does he want to play them? That's my worry because Giroud has been our best strikers for the team. He's been our best striker. So now, do you want to play Timo as a number 9 or a side forward? That's what I don't know. Because I
Yeah,
think
like that.
Timo
Yeah,
play
that's
very
that's
well.
what we don't know. Like,
I think Timo play very well being an inside forward than being a striker. For me, being an inside forward is better than being as a striker. But with the form Christian Pulisic is now, it's hard to drop him at the moment. And Olivier Giroud, it's hard to drop the both of them. It's very difficult to drop them. So when those new
and
players
don't
come,
forget, you still have Callum Hudson-Odoi.
for me, yeah, although he's good, but Odoi still need to prove himself. He still need to prove himself. He hasn't proven anything like the way we want him to prove himself. He's good. I will not doubt his potential, but he hasn't proven enough yet for we fans
Okay.
to be assured of like, yes, I think this guy we know what he wants to do. We'll give him chance. That's my problem. He needs to show because Pulisic has been showing very well. So before Odoi could be on the level of Pulisic, he has to convince Lampard that yeah, I deserve to be in the starting 11 because I
Yeah,
expect him to play against Norwich instead of Willian. But I don't know why Lampard played Willian ahead of him, Callum Hudson-Odoi. That is the perfect match for Odoi to show how good of a player he is against a relegation team Norwich. That's who I wanted him to play. But since Lampard already chosen Willian, then he brought Odoi on and like 80 something minutes. Then I was like, what's going on? Maybe he's resting him for him to get a game time or no, I don't know. But for me, it still hasn't shown how good of a player he needs to show for we fans to be assured that yes, I think we're getting what we want from Callum. So I don't know what Offside thinks about Austin Odoi. So do you really think he has a future or like maybe he needs to be loaned out?
Hello?
Do you think Odoi still has a future in
Yeah.
Chelsea or do you think he needs to be loaned out to get more
I
experience?
think the only reason why he's still he hasn't left the club, either on loan or wherever, is because he's an academy boy, academy product,
Mm-hmm.
and simply because he's English. Other than that, he should be on his way. Very, very. In fact, there have been other players that from the academy that have performed like every single time they came on, and they weren't given this opportunity as long as he has been given. So I don't think the guy deserves to be in the side. Honestly, something is wrong. Something really is wrong. Most of these academy guys, I'm beginning to see so many loopholes in their game. Bruce James as well. The guy doesn't defend as much. He's better offensively than he is defensively. Sammy Abraham, yeah, they had a good run at the start. He had a good run at the start of the season. Now something has gone wrong. Team, what's his name? Sorry, Callum Hudson-Odoi last season with the whole rave around him. I did not see it, and I still haven't seen it till
Mm-hmm.
date. People talking about Chelsea dropping Lampard dropping William for Odoi. That's what should happen. I say no. Personally, I don't even see what
the
he's saying.
disrespect.
I'm telling you, it's a huge disrespect. I'm not the biggest fan of William as things are, but I recognize what he brings and what he'll continue to bring to the table ahead of Callum Hudson-Odoi. The guy should be very far away from the team, somewhere in, I don't know, Netherlands on loan or something.
For me, I think the problem with Arsenal Odoi is does it fit the kind of caliber of team we
And
win?
though you know what the problem is, Chelsea just get like, I think he like, I don't know when he signed a new contract, but like it was like a bumper contract. Like he's earning a lot, right? I think like, I don't know how much, but like he's earning a lot of money right now.
120. He has 120 million. 120. That's what he had.
What 24, 19-year
Imagine,
old?
imagine that. Imagine, imagine that. So my worry with him now is if those players we are buying comes in, where will Callum place? Probably be on the bench or play Carabao Cup or FA Cup.
E-
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, he'll probably get. I think he'll probably like. You probably just get like a couple of cup games.
No,
Um.
will it be consistent with the game time he's getting, or no? That is gonna be the worry. We Faso needs
Yeah,
to
that's.
understand. Because will he be getting the game time he wants being a player? Because he's earning a lot in Chelsea. Now we need to understand: is he gonna get a game time ahead of this player we mentioned, ZH, Timo, potentially Kai Havertz? So I don't think he's gonna bench, and also Christian. I don't think he's gonna bench this kind of players I just mentioned now. I do not think so. I do not think
Yeah,
so.
no, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Where exactly does he want to play? Where? That's it. It's good to have it's good to have a bench, but how confident are you when you can easily trust your bench? How confident? That's the problem.
Yeah, I think he just needs to work on his end product. He needs
Mm.
to work on his and I think like his other aspects of the other aspects of his play are good. I think yeah, he has good physicality. He's very good on the ball. Yeah, he just needs to
What?
work on, yeah, yeah, I mean yeah, but yeah, he looks
You
good.
are
He looks good on
generous.
the
You are
ball.
far
Yeah.
too generous.
Yeah, I don't think
Honestly.
like yeah. I think he just needs to work like on his I think like he just needs to work on his like his delivery into the final third and like, what he and like composure in front of the goal. Those are probably like the two things that he needs to work on. Because obviously you can see Christian Pulisic has been he's scoring goals, he's getting assists. Same thing with Willian. So he's also had Odoi is also gonna need to bring like those sort of things to the table if he wants to force his way into Lampard's plans for next season.
Although it does not bring anything. End product is even too far. His passes, his decision making. Sometimes he just bust out with his pace, do this, do step over, and nothing comes out of it. The guy is not good enough. I remember the last game. After he just came on, I think there was a time he had the ball and he could have easily given the ball to Barkley. I don't know if you play back that game, he could have easily given the ball to Barkley that was in space, and instead he rolled the ball back to I think as Piliqueta, and it was a problem because it caused pressure on this defense, and Chelsea almost conceded the ball to Norwich. Barkley of all people was literally raving at him like should have just made the simple pass, but you're just trying to do flicks and this and all those things are unnecessary. He just
Mm.
needs to play the simple game. He's not physical enough, if you ask me. He doesn't even contribute much defensively. I
Mhm.
don't know. You're being generous when you say, and even if you don't score goals, at least help the team out. Just help the team out. Do
Impact,
things
your
for the team.
impact in the team.
Make
Mhm.
things happen. Even if you don't score,
Exactly.
even if you don't assist. Let's see your contribution. And that is why Willian comes on ahead of him. Willian hardly scores goals or even assists, except for penalties, which is
Mhm.
obviously a generous offer. So
Mhm.
he has to do something better. He's a younger guy. He needs to do. But if you watch the work rates of a player like Mason Mount may not be the most talented, but his contribution, that's why Lampard likes to have him in the side. He started
Mhm.
every single game, or he has played in every single game, Premier League game of Chelsea's season so far. So
Except
it's his
Norwich.
first season. It
Except
speaks
Norwich.
it speaks volumes and speaks to the
Mhm.
level of commitment he has.
Exactly. So, guys, do you guys think the next question? Do you guys think Man City were justified for the transfer ban or not? So I'll go with offside first.
Hey, what did you say?
Do you think Man City were justified with the transfer ban or not? Or maybe like the UEFA was just like,
Well, I think
okay,
I
let me
don't
put
know.
it this way. Let me put it this way.
I
Who
don't know
favors
what to
more?
say. I mean,
Who does
to
them
every other person.
the City
You
transfer
said,
ban? Who does it favor more? Is it the top three or the Europa League team? Who does it favor more?
is it what?
Like who does the transfer ban? The Man City transfer ban. Which team does it favor more? Because
Ah,
before it was top five, now it's top four.
I don't think he favors any. I mean, he favors Man City more. I don't know. So when you say favors more, I don't know. I think these are all teams that were just in the position talking about Chelsea, Leicester City, and Manchester United. They're still in the same space.
Hmm.
In fact, it makes things worse. None of them is actually favored the more. It makes things worse for both three of them. So
Wow. So are they justified for the transfer ban or just like the UEFA just kind of blah blah blah
no,
blah?
every evidence that was available to everybody outside Manchester City pointed towards a potential transfer. Champions League and to be Champions League ban. And to be honest, I genuinely felt okay. Maybe CAS, maybe they were going to review it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll reduce it to just one season Champions League ban. You get me? I
Mm-hmm.
had no idea, not even the slightest inclination, that they were going to, overrule the whole thing entirely.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because I think
Mourinho said,
mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you're going to overrule
Ban.
the sanction, what
Mm-hmm.
happens to the fine?
Mm-hmm. 10 million, 10
Fine is
million
going to
fine.
be double.
10 million.
9 million. Yeah, 9 million.
So for me, I think for me the problem is with UEFA. If according to what Klopp and them Mourinho said is, if truly they are justified, then why do you find them in the first place? Why? Why do you ban them? If truly they are justified, why do you ban them? Because you say they kind of blah 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 for the 2 years. Then why do you find them if truly they justified? Why? That's my take.
Well, yeah. Well,
No
it's
worries.
all good.
I think Liverpool guys also take final take on them the transfer ban for the Man City for Man City. So like, do they are they kind of justified or be like maybe because Man City has money they can overweigh it.
Honestly, um, I think if UEFA's reputation has suffered, really, especially FFP,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously like the UEFA obviously put that ban out in the first place because they believe that Man City had broken the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why Man City haven't been banned is because they went to an independent court to get that decision overturned. Obviously, yeah, it's obviously it's bad for the likes of Man City. I mean, sorry, Man United and Chelsea and so forth. Because now they know that they have to finish top four in order to get Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whether they're justified, yeah, it really depends on like whose perspective you're looking at. If you obviously City fans will say that they'll obviously say that they're justified.
Mm-hmm.
Rival fans, I don't think they'll think. I don't think they probably wouldn't think so. Rival fans.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but honestly, my opinion is that like yeah, no, UEFA's reputation has been damaged very badly, especially FFP. I think this might be the end of FFP as we know it.
Wow.
I think that this is the end. This is the end of FFP.
Wow.
So guys, I have to go now. It's
All
almost
right. No worries. Oh, fine.
30 a.m. midnight.
All right.
Liverpool guys, I hope you guys be a little
Yeah.
bit soft with us next time we meet.
Yeah.
Remember, we did you guys
That's
really
too
good the last time,
that's
so you
too,
can
that's
do
too,
one for us, yeah.
that's
We'll see, man. Klopp will
too.
probably play the kids next week.
Do you think so? I
Hopefully.
don't think so. Do you think he's gonna play them on Wednesday?
I
Is
mean,
it?
what else do we have to play? I mean, like the only thing that we had left to play for was like the 100 points, and like now
Mhm.
we can't get that.
We can't get
So
it
yeah, I
anymore,
mean,
yeah.
we might as well just give the important players a rest for next season and just play like the kids.
But
So I mean,
you are playing at Anfield, and if you win, you lose it. Even if you lose today, but it's gonna be bad. You guys losing and lifting the cup, it's gonna be so bad. That's why I'm worried on
oh, yeah,
Wednesday.
no, yeah, no, we can't lose next week. I don't mind if we draw or like we win. We can't lose next week. Definitely cannot lose next week.
So
Can't
it's really
lose.
just at all. It's not looking good at all. It's not looking good at all.
Mm.
Imagine playing Liverpool coming out of a lose.
One that like we cannot lose that home record. We're trying to catch Chelsea. We're trying to catch Chelsea for that home record. I think like Chelsea have like 80 something. I don't know what we're on right now. So we're
Whatever,
chasing
man.
that.
You guys have to do us a
We're
solid.
chasing that home record that you
Thank you
guys
very
are
much in
holding.
advance.
Just do us a favor, please. Just
Bye
do us a
bye.
favor. That's it. Do us a favor. I think that's it for for today, guys. Like I think that's the final topic for today. So I think probably I'm gonna see you guys on Sunday for the FA Cup. I'm not sure if the Liverpool fire are gonna be available on Sunday because I think for the FA Cup semi-finals, I'm not sure if you're gonna be available, but my next team is gonna be on Sunday. We're gonna discuss the FA Cup semi-finals and also some let me say some transfer room and everything. But probably the FA Cup and FA Cup semi-final is gonna come in like mostly on Sunday. So guys, I'll see you on Sunday. It's been very good. It's been easy. It's been ups and down, but we give thanks to God. So guys, I see you on Sunday. So we ride on Sunday for the FA Cup semi-final. So Liverpool guys, I see you on Sunday, guys. See you on Sunday, brother.
Oh yeah, see you on Sunday, bro. See you on Sunday, man.
Peace out, guys. Peace out.
Peace, peace.